Welcome to more Ace Attorney Investigations 2, part of the collection. I got this game for free from Capcom, thanks Capcom. I feel like I'm obligated to mention that every time I play this. Alright, we're about to start episode 3. It's about time. I had to take some time off from this game due to my cold, because 4 hours of reading is a little hard on the throat when you're coughing and sputtering up your very soul. Cake extravaganza. What?
Samson
And Judy's Bake and Ball.
What? Were we having a cooking show murder? Oh my god. Macarons, waffles with cream, chiffon cakes that are... What? Laugh and sing, smile, it's true. All that sweetness waiting for you. Oh my god. The oven's got something special to share. Ping! Let's see what we've got for you. What the fuck is this? It's cooking time. Are you ready to make something special together? Which one of them's dead? Which one of them do you reckon's dead? Wow, talk about a blast from the past. Hey Gregory, I'm going back there tomorrow with your boy. And I'm finally gonna find out what happened 18 years ago. April 2nd, 10:05 AM, Zodiac Hall, Fountain Room. Well, Fender, are you finally going to tell me what we're doing here? Why have you brought me to an art gallery, of all places? Hey, you had nothing going on. It seemed like the perfect chance to come and enjoy the magic of star sign stuff together. I'm leaving. Chill, big guy, I'm just joking. You know about the IS-7 incident, yeah? Your old man's last case? Of course. Von Karma took great pleasure in showing me the files as soon as I became a prosecutor. Hello, Nello. Drakengard 2 never. And hey, Handstand, I'm definitely feeling today. Yep, I'm feeling. Yep. Of course, Von Karma took great pleasure in showing me the files as soon as I became a prosecutor. And I reviewed them again last night after your invite. See? I was also present at the trial all those years ago, although my memories of it are somewhat hazy. As a child, I was completely in awe of my father. The sight of him in court was inspirational. Yeah, he's got a very Ace Attorney vibe going on there, doesn't he? Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law. And opposite him, the man who would become my mentor, Manfred von Karma. It was quite a case. However, it ended with the conviction of the accused. Ah, so you were there too? You're in the courtroom for Gregory's final outing? Well, that'll make explaining things easier. I wanted you to know something, see? That something being what really went down. Not the truth in those files, but the capital T truth. It was 18 years ago, smack dab in the middle of a real doozy of a winter. The buildings were covered with a blanket of snow, while the streets were lined with popsicles. But things weren't so innocent behind those frozen doors. In fact, some pretty sordid stuff went down. This was back before yours truly was the fine figure of an attorney you see before you today. 18 years ago. Flashback case? December 24th, 5 p.m. Detention Center. Visitors room. Hey, Mr. E. This one really came out of the blue, huh? It did. We were called in before the ink on the arrest papers were even dry. My name is Gregory Edgeworth. I'm a defense attorney. I'm here visiting a client with my assistant, Eddie Fender, and I feel a sneeze coming, and it's really... there we go. Okay, all good. A murder on Christmas Eve? What's the world coming to? In the dark of the night, at the end of the day, I saw two timely saviors a-coming my way. Who, what? Oh, yeah, okay. Welcome, my friends, to the visitor's room. And if we're not friends yet, I'm sure we will be soon. Whoa! Talk about an entrance. Even the frickin' cop's doing jazz hands for him. I was not expecting that. Neither was I. Sorry if I surprised you. I'm just so happy to see you both. Thanks so much for coming out. Seriously, I can't thank you enough. You're the accused, I take it? I am. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law, at your service. I look forward to representing you. This is my assistant, Eddie Fender. Pleased to meet you, sir. I'll do everything I can to help. Come now, Edward. Calm down, please. You'll have to forgive him. He's still new to this. He's been helping me out part-time, but he's far from fully fledged lawyer material yet. Nonetheless, I'm hoping he'll be of some assistance in investigating the particulars of this case. Gregory and Eddie, it's an honor to meet you both. My job as a defense attorney is to save my clients from wrongful convictions. So the first thing to do is establish whether or not he is truly innocent. Perhaps we could begin by having you tell us a little about yourself? What am I thinking? I haven't even told you my name. I'm Samson Tangaroa. But it really is you. Samson Tangaroa, the world's greatest confectioner? You flatter me, my young friend. And call me Samson. All my pals do. Wow! Thanks, Samson. I will. Can't believe I'm meeting you in person. I've got all the anime eyes and everything. It seems Eddie knows something of our client. Mr. E, it's the Samson Tangaroa, the singing, dancing, confectionery making sensation. I got. What shall we make today, kids? Macarons, waffles with cream, chiffon cakes that are light as a dream. Probably pronouncing half these things wrong. Laugh and sing, smile, it's true. All that sweetness waiting for you. Look there, what, where? Over there. The oven's got something special to share. Now let's see what we've got for you. I almost started dancing along. No way! I got to sing with Samson Tangaroa. This is a dream come true. Thanks, little pal. It means a lot to hear you say that. My apologies, but I think we need to discuss the matter at hand. Of course. I'm sure you're both very busy. Alright, where would you like me to start? So you're not just a confectioner, but also a singer and a dancer? I sure am. When I'm having fun, my body just starts moving. You must really enjoy making desserts. Oh, wouldn't be much of a confectioner if I didn't. I live to make sweets that will bring joy to others. Hey, they're not just things, they're works of art. sparkling, dazzling, mouth-watering creations. The stuff that dreams are made of. Who is Gregory? Gregory Edgeworth is his surname. That's Edgeworth's father, who was the pivotal point in the first Ace Attorney game, Case 4, where we're investigating the incident on Gourd Lake, and it leads back to how Gregory Edgeworth died as well at the hands of Von Karma. This is 18 years ago, I think it said. So he aims to create joyous and inspirational pieces, does he? Hang on a sec, gotta clear my throat. Okay, all good. I understand that the incident in question happened at your mansion. It did. We were holding an international confectionery contest there when a body was found inside one of my creations. Inside one of you? No way. Is that a chocolate pirate ship? Yo, for real, was that a chocolate pirate ship? Yo, scoop that body out, I'll finish it. The detective in charge placed me under arrest because of it, and now here I am. But I could never take a life. Never. I'm sure the police will see that too in time. They'll realize their mistake. I sure hope so. And what can you tell us about the victim? His name is Artie Frost. Artie Frost. He was taking part in the contest. Mr. Frost was a wonderful confectioner. His creations were things of real beauty. Just don't understand. Why did he have to die? I'm sorry. He seems genuinely upset over the victim's death. I think I have a pretty good measure of the men now. Mr. Tangaroa, it's just one last thing I need to confirm. Excuse me, I need to confirm with you. This chocolate tastes a bit salty. It has a strange iron aftertaste. Heck. You didn't kill Mr. Frost, correct? Correct. I swear to you I didn't do it. Like I told you, I could never take a life. Never. He seems quite sincere. Alright, I'm going to take you at your word. Thank you for being so forthright with me. Likewise. It's good to talk to somebody other than those detectives. Just because I say heck doesn't mean I thought it was dirty, Gurk. This is just an expression of exasperation. Oh yes, I totally killed him. Yep, it was me. Oh, right, I see. Well, I'll take your case anyway. We'll head to the scene of the crime and see what we can learn. We'll be in touch when we have something more to tell you. Goodbye, Gregory. Goodbye, Eddie. I'm counting on you both. December 24th, 6 p.m. Contest venue, Fountain Room. Oh, it's pretty cold out there, huh, Mr. E? I never saw so much snow. Yes, it doesn't seem like it'll be letting up anytime soon. But just look at this place. What a sweet house Samson's got. It's huge. Yes, big enough to hold an international confectionery contest, no less. Welcome, welcome everyone. Come on in, we'll have us some fun. Oh no. Are you alright? Ah, sorry. Would you happen to be Mr. Gregory Edgeworth by any chance? I would. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Eddie Fender, Mr. Edgeworth's assistant. Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, Welcome to our humble abode. I'd say this is anything but humble. Judy Bound. Judy Bound? Alright. It's an honor to meet you both. I'm the housekeeper here, and Mr. Tangaroa's assistant. You're no housekeeper. You're Judy Bound. The Judy Bound. You know a little something of my work. A little? I watch you on TV every chance I get. I'm Bacon Pop's biggest fan. It's very kind of you to say so. We'd be nothing without our fans.
And what might Bacon Bop be?
It's only the biggest show on TV. Every kid on the planet loves it. The dynamic duo of Samson and Judy make delicious sweet stuff all while singing and dancing. Like this. Check it out.
You're not actually going to start dancing, are you?
What shall we make today, kids?
Oh god, are we doing it again?
Cookie dough caramel too. Fluffy show cream tiramisu. Everyone come along. Bacon treats with a smile and a song. Oh, where? Who? There, it's true. The oven's got something special for you. Just take a bite and you will see.
Yeah, okay.
It was a wonderful performance, Mr. Fender. Bravo. I dance along every time I watch the show.
Perhaps Miles might enjoy it too. I'll suggest it later.
But all this dancing really takes it out of a guy. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm the world's worst hostess. Yeah, nothing relaxes the body and mind quite like a cup of tea.
One of those star-shaped cups that look like they'd be really uncomfortable to sip out of? Sure. This is Ceylon? Ceylon? Is that like a kind of tea? Probably saying it wrong. Correct, it's delicious. Its citrus aroma is said to improve one's ability to concentrate, as I recall.
Interesting. So this is what Ceylon tea tastes like, huh?
How odd. The sauce is cold.
Yes, it's said that the tea cools down more quickly, I'm afraid. Some of our guests don't like it too hot.
I see. These teacups are very unique too. The design is really something. From Sri Lanka, and I am saying it right. Wow, what a twist.
You think so? Oh, thank you so much. I ordered them all the way from France. They're my absolute favourite. They were designed by a marvellous sculptor named Paul Halik. Have you heard of him?
I don't see the pun immediately there.
He makes the most amazing tableware in the world.
You're clearly a big fan of his work.
Oh, I am. These teacups are my greatest treasure.
She's certainly not afraid to show when she's passionate about something. If you don't mind, Miss Bound, I'd like to move on to the reason we're here. Can you tell us everything you know about the unfortunate incident that occurred earlier?
Of course. I'm sorry for getting so distracted. I guess I'm still in shock. Because I'm the one who found the body, you see.
You discovered the victim? Is it true that the body was recovered from inside one of Mr. Tangaroa's creations?
It is. We were in the middle of the contest's final judgment phase when I heard the sound of something big collapsing coming from Samson's room. Samson? Are you in here? Ah. I opened the door and went inside, and there was Mr. Frost's body.
Thank you. I'm sorry to make you relive such a traumatic experience.
Think nothing of it, please. I only wish I had more to tell you.
Now, if you don't mind, Miss Bound, I'd like to begin our investigation of the crime scene.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, you have to save Samson. He's no murderer. Would never do something like that.
Of course.
Leave it to us, Miss Bound. Thank you so much. I'll go serve the others their tea then.
Flavin, thank you for the raid. Welcome on in, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to the maid stream. We are playing Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Here's the Clavin clip on Cyberpunk. Yeah, that's Cyberpunk.
Family comes first. Also, it's kind of wild that Johnny didn't immediately go, "Hello, Panam."
You seem to have flipped your tank.
How did I flip it?
Oh, can you save it? Hey. Cyberpunk is a very stable game with no bugs. Welcome everyone. If you're new here, I'm Iggy Maid. I'm a big gay lizard maid streamer. Any pronouns are fine with me. I like my story games. I like my action games. I'm joined by Greb, closer to the weekends, who likes more chaotic games. And in case you are new, which I feel is unlikely because Clavin raids me a lot, here's a raid trailer to get you introduced to us.
I am a master of gun fu. Oh, you smell guilty. Whoa!
Oh my god.
Ooh, funny rock. Touch it. Lick it. Put it in your mouth.
I love weenies.
Fire! Oh dear. Oh dear. I thought we said controlled burn. I may be very gay.
Yeah!
Woohoo! Uh-oh. Yeah! Die!
See? Ow! Deja vu! I've just been in this car before. Ah!
So you can't get me now. Right?
Whoa! No!
Hello.
Grab smash! Whoa! He knocked his whole body off. Consider yourself pregnated.
And welcome back. I've played Cyberpunk with all the patches and stuff. There's still some bumps, but you do fall through the world a lot less. I'll give it that. I mean, big open world games are notoriously difficult to clear of all bugs. They are very big, wide open games after all. Lots of things can happen. Right, let's get back to the game. We're on case 3, so spoiler warning for anyone who does want to play Investigations 2 themselves. Or we could get a sub delivered directly to my face via blunt force trauma. Stimkey? How dare. I'll have you know I showered last month. That's a joke. That's a joke.
Best day ever. Party, party, party. So much party, party till you drop.
And there's Grab. Alright, I'll go serve the others their tea then. Am I British? Unfortunately. Did it really take you that long to figure that out? Does my accent not give it away? I feel like it should have. Oh god, of course you had it as a quote, Panda. God damn it. Worst feature, that I'm British. Yeah, sad but true. Cancel me all you like. I can't change it. Come, Eddie, to the scene of the crime.
Yes, sir, Mr. E.
Oh, it's this guy, this detective. I was wondering if we'd ever see more of this guy. We saw him in Investigations 1, didn't we, in a flashback case there? Or no, was it Investigations or was it a flashback case in a different Ace Attorney? I can't remember when it was, but it was definitely a flashback case in one of the games. Goth?
That's that one, yeah. No way! Everything in this room is made of chocolate! Can't believe I'm getting to see so many of Samson's creations this up close and personal. Thank you for head pat. I might be more excited myself if the room wasn't a murder scene. Oh, just hearing you say that, it sends a shiver down my spine. That might just be the temperature in here. It's rather cold. Yeah, now that you mention it, it's pretty chill. Achoo! Defense on the scene already. That was fast. A pleasure to meet you. Gregory Edgeworth, I am representing Mr. Tangaroa. This is my assistant, Eddie Fender. Nice to meet you. Bad? Oh, no. Bad. Detective Tyrell Bad. The detective in charge is named Bad. A man of few words. But why would you eat... Why are you eating it? Something about this just doesn't taste right. Stop eating paper. You're eating your notepaper? He likes to chew over his thoughts rather literally, I'm afraid. Helps him to digest and remember them. It's a little quirk of his. Please try to ignore it. Although I'd be the first to admit that's easier said than done. With introductions out of the way, Detective Bad, would you mind if we joined you in investigating the scene? Sorry, not gonna happen. What? Well, how come? Mr. Edgeworth is Mr. Tangaroa's attorney. Yeah, and attorneys will do anything to get them off the hook. Even put words in their clients' mouths. You think I need that on my crime scene? Oh, Mr. Edgeworth would never do something like that. I don't trust attorneys. Okay, kid? Detective, you established my client's supposed guilt based on an investigation of the crime scene, correct? That's usually how it works, yeah. What of it? Then extend me the same courtesy. I believe he is innocent, and I would like the chance to prove it. You believe he's innocent? And you didn't even see the scene yet? That's some flimsy lawyering. That's exactly why I wish to see the scene for myself. I need to ensure that my belief is based on solid evidence and sound reasoning. You about to tell me you're not leaving until I let you look over the scene? I am. Fine. Knock yourselves out. Thank you, Detective. But I'm coming around with you. Like I said, I don't trust attorneys. If you're good with that, go ahead and get to it. That was a lollipop this whole time? I must admit I didn't see that coming either. We'd better get started then. I'll need you to take notes, Eddie. On it, Mr. E. Let's get this over with. This is how I start my investigative process. Right, I guess where the body was found's a good start as any. So this is where the body was discovered. Yeah, they took it away already, but everything else is just how we found it. Yeah, immediately drawn to whatever this is. Looks like a coin? It appears the body was inside the treasure chest. Yeah, a woman by the name of Bound found it. Samson, are you in here? Yeah, I beat you to it. Seems she heard something breaking and came in to see what it was. Okay, so there was a weird sound. If only we had a little more information. There's something else in here. Looks like a seal of some kind. somebody's initials and an intricate shape carved into it. Is it for making those fancy... Oh no, it's Fender.
Is it for making those fancy wax things on documents? You think it belonged to the victim?
No idea. But it's gonna get logged anyway, so I'll take that.
But did you just miss that until I got here? It's like the first thing my eyes were drawn to. Okay. Examine the ship itself.
It's really rather impressive making an entire ship out of chocolate.
Nice Samson Tangaroa for you. Don't you just want to take a big bite out of it? Which part to bite first, though? That's a real head scratcher, you know?
Bite any part of it, kid, and you'll be off this crime scene so fast your head will spin.
Hey, it was just a joke. Stop staring at me like that.
I do sometimes wish Eddie could keep his cool a little better. Wonder if this is relevant. It's titled Voyage of the Red Rover. After sailing the seven seas, the legendary ship happens upon a great treasure at last. This piece is a tribute to the adventurous spirit of our ancestors. Who knew? So they sailed 6 whole seas before they found anything? Not exactly the luckiest crew out there. Sometimes you gotta take a bunch of wrong turns before you find the truth. That's what being a real detective is all about. Did they even have detectives back in those days? One of the stands for the ship is broken.
The ship must have collapsed onto the treasure chest and smashed it open. Wait, do you think... Could that be how the victim died? Was he crushed by the ship?
If he was, this becomes an accidental death and not a murder. You too serious? Don't worry, detective. For the moment, we're simply discussing a possibility.
I was being serious, though.
Detective, can you tell us a little more about the state of the victim's body? Let me see. Got a picture here someplace. You can see for yourselves. Death was from blunt force trauma. And what about the weapon? Has it been found yet? You can ask the prosecutor in charge about that. The detective's not one for sharing much, I see. Would you mind if we borrowed this? And no skin off my nose. It's not like it's official. Bound took it with an instant camera when she found the body.
An instant camera? Like it's disposable or something?
No, it means that it develops the pictures right there and then when you take them.
No way! That sounds pretty convenient.
Now then, I better get my facts straight and take down some notes of my own. Something in this picture that contradicts with the current crime scene. I'll need to call on my powers of deduction to figure out why.
Okay.
Sound of something breaking in the broken stand. Is that connected? The stand broke and the ship collapsed with it. And the loud sound it made brought Miss Bound running. Yeah, said the ship had already keeled over by the time she got in here. But why did the stand collapse? What caused it to break? Maybe the whole thing was off balance from the get-go. Could that really have been the case? There's some very tasteful tableware here, along with some kitchen utensils. This tea set is of the same design as the one Miss Bound served us with earlier.
You think Samson could have been drinking tea out of that?
The pot and cup were dusted for prints. These were the only ones they found. And was that the case for the utensils too? Everything else had been washed, so there weren't any prints to find. If Mr. Tangaroa was wearing gloves while he was working on his confectionaries, that could explain why prints were only found on the teapot and cup. Okay, what else can I look at? Can I talk to you? And you are? Sorry, meditating. Did you want something, Detective? Oh, I'm an attorney, not a detective. Gregory Edgeworth. Pleasure to meet you.
Hello, Miss Assistant, Eddie Fender.
I see. Name's Carmelo Gusto. I'm a confectioner, here for the contest.
You are? Oh, what's your specialty, Mr. Gusto?
Yeah, okay. The art of air and sugar.
No way! Look at that, it's a little baby seahorse.
It's a dragon, a noble, soaring creature of the skies.
That's a dragon?
It does look more aquatic than airborne. No need to sugarcoat it, my design sense is weak. I know that better than anybody. That's why I'm heading to Zhengfa when this is all over. I need to train hard. Perhaps we should get off the subject of his design sense for now. So what are you doing in here, Mr. Gusto? I didn't think they were allowing civilians on the scene yet. Detective wanted to know more about one of the pieces in here. Makes sense, seeing as he's a contestant. Perhaps I should ask him a few questions of my own. Those are some interesting implements you use, Mr. Gusto. Sugar-blowing pumps. They put air into the sugar.
That's so cool. It's like watching a sword master do his thing.
I'm no master. Not a day goes by that I don't hurt myself one way or another. That's why I wear red. That way it doesn't matter when I make a mess. The way of the confectioner is a lonely one. You never stop learning. Not until you die. The way of the confectioner sounds like a long one too, if he's still injuring himself on a daily basis. What can you tell us about the contest? Based on what we've seen so far, flavor doesn't seem to be the only criteria at play. The contest was Tangaroa's idea. It's about art. Confectionery as art.
Confectionery as art?
Art you can eat. Every part of it. Every single item in this room is edible.
The whole place does kind of smell like chocolate.
Tangaroa is a genius. A once-in-a-generation talent. Flavor and flair, he has it all. And if you can't outdo the god of confections himself, you can't win.
I don't know, man. Beating out the greatest in the world seems kind of hard, yeah?
As it should be. Whoever beats him becomes the greatest in turn. That's the real prize here. Nothing else matters. So you're competing for a title, effectively. And a treasure. The ultimate cookbook. Tangaroa's most prized possession. If you want to know more, it's all written down here. It's a list of rules that was given out to contestants.
Okay, that seems important to look at. Especially if that's, like, relevant to the case. Prizes. The Ultimate Cookbook and title of the World's Greatest Confectioner. Judging will proceed clockwise from the leftmost room. All contestants to gather in Mr. Tangaroa's room when judging ends. Non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration. Stands and display materials will be provided. Contestants may not enter another contestant's room until judging has been completed. Okay.
Sorry, I don't know much about what happened. I only heard about it after the judging was over.
How was the judging organized?
It started at 3 PM. Tangaroa began making the rounds right around then. He left his own room and worked his way around the venue clockwise. My creations were the first to be judged. After that, he went to Scone's room. She's another one of the contestants. What can you tell us about her? Ruthless, brutal. There's nothing she wouldn't do to win. She was working with Cream, some kind of dreamscape. Then, last of all, Frost's room. His thing was flavored ice. Sculptures this time, or so I heard. Bound found the body, while Tangaroa was still making the rounds. She panicked, ran to call the cops. Tangaroa went right on judging, claims he didn't know a thing about it, until afterward. Went ahead and looked over the victim's work, even though the guy was nowhere to be seen. It's pretty suspicious behavior in anyone's book. I don't have enough information to challenge him on that yet. By the way, Detective Bad, what were you and Mr. Gusto talking about earlier? I was going to ask about the piece on the wall here, the one in the frame. Seemed like something was off. Thought I'd better ask somebody who knows about this stuff. The fact there's a giant handprint on it, and one of the embellishments on the lower left is missing. Also, one of the candle flames is missing. I'm not sure if that's intentional, though. But then you bozos showed up and pulled me away from my very important work. And perhaps we could take a closer look at it together. Can't take a hint, can you? Mr. Gusto, would you mind helping us out? Of course! Confectionery is my life. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Who knew you could make a picture this pretty out of chocolate? Samson really is a god among men. Is it really made of chocolate, though? Looks far too much like a regular illustration to me. You have a good eye. I'm impressed. That's no piece of candy. That's the ultimate cookbook. The ultimate cookbook? In other words, the grand prize. What? So it's not made of chocolate after all? No. The book is simply enframed in some. Tangaroa showed it to all of us when he gathered us here to explain the rules. So the participants knew that the grand prize was in this room the whole time. Anyway, you see it too, right? The frame. Something's missing. The oddity Detective Bed was going to ask Mr. Gusto about earlier. Yes. Baby pics of your niece that you met for the first time? Oh, yeah, you're more than welcome to share them in the Discord, please. Either in the Wholesome channel or IRL Pics channel. Whatever you feel is appropriate. Alright, Detective. Something is missing from this frame. You plugged a USB and your PC went black and you just realized you hit the power button. Well done, Panda. That's classic Panda right there. Excuse me. So it's not just me. Huh? What's missing? We better show Eddie which part of the frame is missing some chocolate. The bit that I'm looking at.
Take that!
Oh, he's got his own take that. Look at the decorative work in the corner here. Something's missing now. Oh yeah, it's different from the other side. Yeah. Red suit.
Take that.
There we go. That's not like Tangaroa. The balance is all wrong. But that's not all.
Hey, Val.
Take a look around.
What do you think about some juice?
I think I would like a drink. Okay. and another resub. Thank you very, very much.
Bunger, 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 bunger.
Thank you,
bunger,
Onion
bunger,
and
bunger.
Lauren. Bunga. Oh, excuse me. Every confection in this room is missing some small bit. You're right. The candle holder, the nautical stuff, they're all like that. Did somebody deliberately damage them? Thank you for head pat. A bunga is a creature from Bugsnax. Looks like a burger. Says bunga. I feel like that's everything you need to know about it. That's the whole thing. That's a very good question. Or did Tangaroa just wanted to look like somebody messed with his work? He'd never do that to his own creations. Never. Just have some deeper meaning for the
Mystic
case.
Scribbles just
Oh,
tipped
thank you,
£2.
Scribbles.
I too want in on this giving of money.
Thank you for giving the money. Now, tips aren't connected to Twitch, so they won't set off a hype train, but thank you nonetheless. Thank you very much. I do get more of it, though, overall. So that's honestly nicer. I'm scan the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. The handprint. Are these finger marks? Yeah, we don't know whose yet. Still haven't figured it out. No fingerprints, no ID. Finger marks without prints. They could certainly be important to the case. Okay. Well, it's a real head scratcher, alright. Not really. I'm guessing whoever it was wore gloves. Where's your sense of romance or adventure? Doesn't tend to be much of either at a crime scene, Eddie. Achoo! You're right, Eddie. Oh yeah, but it sure is chilly in here. Yes, wasn't exactly warm out in the fountain room either. But it's even colder in here. Would you like to borrow my jacket? No, I'm fine. Plus, we don't have the Sprite budget for it. And besides, you said you'd give it to me when I finally got my attorney's badge. I did, didn't I? Why do they have the heat down so low? Chocolate needs to be kept at the right temperature. Take a look behind that panel on the wall. What panel? Look at that. Who was here this whole time? There's one in each of the contest rooms. Tangaroa hid them so they wouldn't spoil the aesthetic of our works. And what do the controls do? They adjust the temperature and the lighting. Goes all the way down to negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit. Cold enough to keep any confectionery from melting. So in effect, each room is a giant freezer. It's 59 degrees in here. No wonder I'm cold. Hang on, what's that in real measurements? 59 F in C is 15. Okay. Negative 22 is not giving me the answer. Negative 30. Okay. That's very cold. Very cold. Too cold for Limzard. Hey, 15's cold for me too. It's not freezing, but it's starting to get uncomfortable. Hey, Detective Bad, you mind if we turn it up a little? Preservation of the crime scene is the foundation of detective work. But I'm not a detective. The same goes for attorneys, Eddie. You must never disturb the scene of the crime. Get used to the cold. It's all part of your training. Chocolate needs to be kept between 59 and 65 degrees. There's no way around it. You know the temperatures by heart, huh? Guess it is your job. It's the very least I should know. Any real confectioner should be able to tell you that and more. Alright, what about lollipops with cream? If it's not too hot or too humid, a lollipop should be fine just about anywhere. Cream needs to be kept at around 50 degrees. Need to watch out for heat and humidity, huh? Duly noted. Detective Bear kind of brightened up when he was talking about lollipops, didn't he? I suppose he must be very fond of them. Very vital information to the case. I don't believe there's any more to be found here. Okay, well, if you say so. Anything going on over here? No? I can talk to them, but... Hang on. Maybe it broke because it was tampered with? Hey. All of Mr. Tangaroa's creations are missing a little piece each, including one of the stands that was holding up the ship. Somebody really went all out. What do you think it could have been the killer? That's certainly a possibility. The spyglass, you want me to check on that next? Alright. Either way, I think we can safely say the stand was damaged in our mystery person's tampering spree. And when it broke, the ship fell and smashed open the treasure chest, which would have remained closed otherwise. This is a fine selection of nautical paraphernalia. You'd think one of them could be the murder weapon? No, they're all made out of chocolate. You'd have a hard time bludgeoning somebody to death with one of them. Thank you, Nai. Thank you very much, and welcome.
Huo.
Huo? Hello. Can't tell what's real in here. They really do look genuine. I can hardly tell the difference myself. A true testament to Mr. Tangaroa's skills. Oh, that was it. It's nothing. Alright, no. Hey. What are you investigating, officer? Sir, I was just taking the temperature of the water here. What have you learned? Oh, it's warm, sir. The stream in each room flows into the main fountain and then the water circulates back to the rooms. Unusual, to say the least. Never seen a house quite like this one. The rich folks, they're all crazy. True. How's it looking over here, officer? Nothing of interest in that cupboard, or...? But have you considered death by chocolate? The kid may have a point. Yes, sir. So, there is? Oh, no, there isn't. Just a blowtorch used for cooking and some tableware, sir. You heard the man, Mr. Attorney. Nothing to add, am I right? No. So, you do have something to add? Oh, no. Can't get a straight answer out of anybody. Perhaps you should ask a straight question. Okay, what haven't I looked at yet? I swear he said, yeah, nothing more to be found here. These controls can be used to adjust the room's temperature and lighting. Red, yellow, green, dark blue, light blue, white. Oh, it's a huge range. Temperature set to 59 degrees, light color set to white. The pieces in here are made of chocolate, that's why. White light makes them look better. Mr. Tangaroa must see the room itself as a part of his carefully crafted creations. Have I missed anything here? I've only got one thing, the blunt force trauma. Police have taken custody of the body. Inside a chocolate treasure chest. Blunt force trauma.
Is there a difference here other than the lack of body? Because the seal is still there. This block is still here. I have the option to deduce. Wait, hang on. Is it the same? Wait, it's not, is it? Or is that just because the body's covering it? No, there's definitely stuff missing there, that's it. Urethra. You said the only thing that has been removed from the scene is the body? Yeah, that and the piece of cloth it was wrapped in. Then something here doesn't quite add up. It doesn't? Take another look at the scene in front of us, Detective. Very conspicuous pool of blood that should be here is clearly missing. You're right. I don't remember anybody mentioning they'd removed the blood along with the body. Let me check with forensics. What is it, Mr. A? What did you figure out? Compare the treasure chest and the photograph to the real thing. In the picture, the solid chocolate bottom continues underneath the deceased's head. And yet that part of the chest is now gone. The part with the blood all over it. Exactly. So did the police remove it? Or perhaps the killer? Hey, Huey. I wasn't forensics. They're saying nobody took anything like that away. Interesting. So somebody deliberately removed the blood from the scene. Could be. Oh, there we go. That's everything. I think we're about done here for now. Well, if I wasn't convinced before, I am now. Tangaroa did it. No two ways about it.
Well, what do you mean?
All the rooms in this place lock from the inside. The only way to unlock them from the outside is with this key. Really? Just yet another locked room mystery. Oh boy, I'm not tired of this trope. I see. And who had access to that key? Who do you think? Tangaroa. And it's the only one. There aren't any copies. With the mentioned key, Tangaroa could slip into anybody else's room, anytime he liked. And he could even lock his own room from the outside if he wanted. Mr. Tangaroa's room wasn't locked, was it? Nope, which is exactly what makes him a suspect. Would you care to explain your thinking? If the door had been locked when the body was found, Tangaroa would have been the obvious suspect. Which is why he deliberately didn't lock his room. And why he smashed in the lid of the treasure chest so the body was on full display. Everyone was supposed to gather in his room when the judging finished up. So he made it look like the murder happened while he wasn't there. The one thing he didn't plan on was Bound finding the body. Anyway, that's my thinking on this whole thing. Good enough for you, Mr. Attorney? Do you also believe it was Mr. Tangaroa who damaged the other pieces in this room? Yep. I know you have to believe your client. That's your job. But I'm a detective, and I serve the law. And no matter how squeaky clean somebody might seem, a suspect is still a suspect.
Jonathan Creek, never seen it. I feel like I've heard the name, but I never saw it.
There's a lot of things I haven't seen TV-wise. I fully understand your reasoning, Detective. Now, would you mind if I applied a little critical thinking of my own? Do your worst. Just as the detective won't compromise his devotion to the law, I won't compromise my beliefs either. And I'm not about to just accept his version of events. In fact, I'm going to show him the piece of evidence that highlights the contradiction in his claims. In Witchfire, pulling the gun apart, holding it... Wait, what? What the heck kind of animation is that, Huey? What's Witchfire? Tell me about it. I'm going to bring up its Steam page and have a quick nosy. I was last looking at Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, which seems to be getting good reviews. Witchfire. 33 quid! First-person dark fantasy RPG shooter. Roguelite. Souls-like tags. It looks cool. I'll keep that page open for later. Critical thinking is the key to success. That sounds really familiar somehow. He plays a witch hunter with guns. That sounds fun. That's the key point, right? Tanjiro would have been the obvious suspect, which is why he deliberately didn't lock his room. Why he smashed the lid of the treasure chest so the body was on display.
Hold it!
Can you parry in Witchfire? Yeah, that's an important question. Are there any parrying mechanics? You're saying Mr. Tangaroa himself deliberately smashed the treasure chest open? Yep. If he hadn't, the body would never have been found. I struggle to see how he managed to destroy his creation while judging his contest at the same time.
Exactly. And besides, there's no way he would have disrespected his sweets. He eats every last crumb on Bacon Bob. While dancing. That's the only way his stuff gets destroyed.
This isn't about what happens on TV, kid. You know about Bacon Bop, Detective? Am I the only one who isn't familiar with the show?
Oh, I never would have guessed. Can you sing the theme song too?
Please don't. Never mind that now. Focus. The point is this. Tangaroa was responsible for breaking that lid. Made it look like the murder happened while he wasn't there. Let me just go over my evidence real quick. Not that. Found in the room inside a chocolate treasure chest. The lid was closed until the ship collapsed. Part of the chest covered in blood is missing. Every other item in the room is also missing a piece of itself. Blood loss following blunt force trauma. Oh, that's the thing, the symbol on the signet ring, or whatever it is.
Oh, there's something stamped on the bottom. It says PH.
I suppose that must be Paul Helik's pottery mark. Those are his initials, after all. Miss Bounds said she's a big fan of his work.
His initials, huh? So if I'd made it, it would say EF?
Perhaps you should practice by initialing your personal belongings first. Okay, so we know who this belongs to now. Does that mean you're not who you say you are? Who we think you are? I say, but he's Delicia Scott. Really? Your first name is Delicia? Well, I shouldn't even be surprised at this point. Detective Ben seems pretty convinced that Mr. Tangaroa is the culprit.
There's no way he would have vandalized his own creations. Still, the treasure chest did get smashed in, there's no denying that.
Perhaps we should focus more on what led to the body's discovery. Doing so should make it easier to spot the flaw in Detective Bat's theory. And the body was discovered. So the body was on full display. So I feel like this is the key element, but I've not clicked on to why it contradicts with anything yet. Tanger was in possession of his key the whole time. Didn't leave any prints. Rules for the contest. I am aware of that, Mystic. That's the logic I put together. But I feel like the detective's supposition here is that he set it up to fail in advance, so he wasn't there. So how is that a contradiction? Or am I just to take the words at face value and say he smashed it and I'm just like, no, he didn't? That... Because I feel like I would be just arguing the same point he's making. But what else could it be? I'll go with it, but I'm not feeling it. I'm not going to yell objection for this one, because I'm not feeling it.
Objection!
Oh well, the health bar disappeared. I thought that's the point you were trying to make. Can you sing the theme song? Kid, there's only 2 times a man should ever sing. For a police interrogation, and for a large audience on YouTube. I don't have YouTube, and you haven't tied me up yet. I didn't hear a no. Oh dear. We've established that the body was hidden inside the chest, and that Miss Bound only came running into this room when she heard a sound. It seems reasonable to infer that the sound was that of the chocolate boat collapsing. Sure, seems likely, based on the evidence. And yet you asserted that it was Mr. Tangaroa who had smashed the lid of the chest. I believe this photo makes it clear that it was the ship that did the smashing. And if that had occurred only moments before Miss Bound had entered the room, then it couldn't have been broken by Mr. Tangaroa, who was out judging the contest at that time. See, looks like you're sweating chocolate. I thought that was the point he was trying to make. No, red suit, okay. Hang on, gotta switch back. There you go. I never said he did it then and there. Could have done something to the stand so it collapsed when he was in the middle of judging. Yeah, that's what I thought you were trying to say. But this is still the contradiction? Have you any way of proving that assertion? Nope. But the investigation isn't over yet. There's still time. So he doesn't have anything conclusive. Have you found any prints in this room besides those of Mr. Tangaroa? Yep, on the door. But we found Tangaroa's and Frost's prints on there too. We were all brought in here for a briefing, right before we started work on our creations. Those prints are probably from then. I take it you haven't checked any of Mr. Tangaroa's works for prints yet? Why would... We know that somebody tampered with them. Therefore it's possible they left some prints behind when they did so. Fine. But if we don't find anything, your guy's still top of my list. Got it? You, check all of this chocolate stuff for prints, now. Oh yes sir, right away. Detective Bad. Oh, we finished dusting the chocolate and we found prints that don't belong to Mr. Tangaroa, sir. Go on. Whose? Delicia Scone, sir. She's one of the contestants. Good work. You can go back to whatever you were investigating before. Yes, sir. So it seems we have a suspect besides Mr. Tangaroa. Even without your lawyerly input,
Wasn't about to wrap up the investigation anyway. I'll go speak to Miss Scone and see what she has to say for herself. Alicia Scone. Mr. Gusto mentioned her too. He said that she was ruthless, and she'd do anything to win.
This Scone lady sounds like a pretty suspicious character, huh, Mr. E?
Yes, I think we'd better try to speak with her ourselves as well. Detective Bad, would you mind if we accompanied you? Babysitting you is not my job.
Oh, come on.
But I guess you did pick up a couple of useful clues already. So if you want to tag along, be my guest. Thank you, Detective. You're too kind.
But Detective Bad, sir. Oh, I don't think that's such a good idea. Lead prosecutor is still busy in there.
It'll be fine. Me and him don't exactly see eye to eye anyhow.
Who is this him? Who'd they assign the case to?
Manfred von Karma.
What? They gave it to Von Karma? He hasn't lost a case in 25 years.
Manfred von Karma. A living legend over at the prosecutor's office. We've never faced one another in the courtroom, but we've heard plenty of stories. They say he'll do anything to ensure a guilty verdict. But I can't let that distract me. For now, I need only continue to do what I believe is right.
To be continued.
Oh god. All these deep voices I'm doing, and I'm gonna have to add Von Karma to it as well. Ugh. Huh. December 24th, 7:30 p.m. Contest
What do you think
venue.
about some juice?
Scones room.
Stop slouching.
Juice time. Every voice is getting progressively deeper. I'll hurt my throat. An over-the-top vampire voice. God, what would that even sound like?
Whoa, a candy castle. And look, there are even some little elves to go with it.
It's pretty big. Rooms laid out pretty much the same as Tangaroa's.
It's not as cold though. That's something.
Let's see. Yeah, it looks like there's a temperature control panel in here too. Over there.
Oh, over there where that orange light is, right?
We better take a closer look at it when we can. It's like a fairy tale storybook in here. And this whipped cream covered construction must be the work of Miss Delicia Scone. Where is Miss Scone?
Me? Why, I'm just over here, dearie. Oh, just look at you lovely boys. Delicia Scone at your service. Some cheeky blighters back in Blighty even call me Miss Delicious.
Called a lovely boy at 34. Unexpected to say the least. You're supposed to be 34? Alright.
A lovely voice? Really? Even Mr. E? Oh, yeah, dear. Oh, you, the detective over there. You're all lovely boys to me.
I'm nobody's lovely boy, lady. Name's Bad. I wonder just how old she is. Finish this up so we can get out of here, Mr. Attorney. Yes, alright.
Objection!
Oh god, yep, there he is. There's the objection. Objection! Yes, talk like this. Oh, except I'm supposed to do over-the-top vampire now. What's the meaning of this? Chit-chatting with the defense? God. Mr. Edgeworth, there's some scary guy just stepped out of the castle. You were even inside the...
Von Karma.
What? He's Manfred von Karma? Sorry, mannequins.
The notorious prosecutor Von Karma himself. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Von Karma. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law.
I couldn't care less what your name is. Your job is to lose to me and disappear. Never to show your sniveling face again.
What a thoroughly rude individual.
Those piercing eyes, the furrowed brow. Ugh, they're even scarier than they say.
And you might want to keep such rude thoughts to yourself, Eddie. We're hoping you might permit us to carry out some brief inquiries, Mr. Von Karma.
Ha! And why would I wish to extend you any such courtesy?
This clearly isn't going to be easy.
So long as your inquiries are limited to this room, I suppose I'll allow it.
Why the sudden change of heart?
You, the tall fellow.
Name's Bad. Is that so hard to remember?
I didn't ask for your opinion. The thoughts of a lowly detective do not concern me. But I do admire your spirit. Bad. See to it that these worms don't step out of line.
Why do I have to?
I am not offering you a choice, detective. I need to go and look over Gusto's room. Good day.
Great. More babysitting. Why aren't Detective Bad and Mr. Von Karma investigating together? They don't seem to know each other well enough for there to be bad blood between them.
Blood. Well, looks like we have permission to investigate. Guess we better get to it.
Indeed. I'm not sure I trust Mr. Von Karma's motives, but at least we can do that much.
You're all lovely boys to me.
Boy, I'm 34.
You are?
What's so unusual about that? I'm 35.
You must have had some hard lives.
I am actually 20.
I am questioning everything I've ever known.
It should have their ages in their profiles. Bad is 42. Delicia is unknown. Von Karma is 49.
Who knows? Could be older than time itself.
Indeed. I'm not sure I trust Mr. Von Karma's motives, but at least we can do that much. Hold up. I haven't been over this room yet either. You're not messing it up before I get my chance. You'll have to wait till I'm done.
Huh? I thought you were the lead detective.
Impression of Funky from Chonky and Funky for Delicia. No, the voice is already established. I will not change voices for already established voices for those who are not paying full attention to the stream, because it will confuse those who are listening more so than watching. I accepted it for Von Karma because we hadn't actually voiced him yet.
How come you didn't take a look at this room yet?
Because I wasn't the first one they assigned. One of Von Karma's pets was on the job before me. Right up until just now, in fact. I got here not long before you did. That answers my question as to why they're working separately, I suppose. Let's say we look over the room together, Detective. It worked out well enough before. Then you won't have to worry about us messing things up. You can keep an eye on us as we go. The kind of screwball attorney asks to have a detective breathing down his neck. Guess I'm stuck with you for a little while longer.
Yes, you're amazing, Mr. E.
You have our thanks, Detective Bad.
Don't be too grateful. This is my scene. The second you get in my way, you're out of here. Of course, we understand. Now, shall we begin? Alright, well, they wanted to check the temperature first, so let's do that. There's a small door on the wall here, just like Mr. Tangaroa's room. Here, I'll open it. Temperature 68 degrees. Light set to green. Didn't Gusto say cream needs to be kept at 50 degrees? Temperature in here is too high. Interesting. Yeah, when Von Karma killed Gregory Edgeworth in the lift, in the flashback during Case 4 of Game 1, Von Karma just kind of took Edgeworth in and sort of fucking brainwashed the fucker. That is odd. I wonder why. Now, Ace Attorney 1. Not Investigations 1. The literal first game, Phoenix Wright 1. But okay. I guess investigate the castle. Can I just climb on in? It's an incredible piece of work. Hard to believe this whole castle's made out of sugar and cream. And Von Karma just stepped inside it. Wouldn't he have left like giant footprints in the cream? I know, right? It's like we're inside a magical medieval story or something. I didn't know you were into such fantastical things. Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. Didn't mean to get so carried away there. No need to apologize. I admire your enthusiasm. I sometimes wish my own son was as animated as you. You have a son, Mr. E? I do. He's still in elementary school, and yet he'd rather read a statute book than a fairy tale. I can't help but worry that his interests will make it hard for him to make friends. Oh, don't say that. He sounds super interesting. You'll make tons of friends, me included, I'm sure. I like to think you'd be more of a big brother to him than a friend, Eddie. A big brother, huh? Guess I have some growing up to do. Better take this more seriously. Indeed. And with that in mind, shall we continue our investigation? Okay. Well, what are these things? The doors of the castle have been left wide open. Yeah, was the guy born in a barn? Could have at least closed them behind him. I'd like to see you say that to Mr. Von Karma's face, Eddie. Wait, there's a bunch of stuff inside. Let's see. Hold it, kid. If anybody's gonna be handling evidence, it'll be me. Cream's going all runny. The whipped cream is melting and will lose its shape at the slightest touch. It's all over the detective's shoes. Why are all these items being stored inside a candy castle? Alright, tell me what you want me to look at first. I guess the big gold things here? 2 big rock crystals. Looks like somebody was using the castle for storage. They look like they'd fit in these little hexagonal slots, like they were lights. I expected something a little more exciting behind those doors. Oh, I know, maybe they're giant uncut gemstones. And maybe this whole thing's based on a story about a castle with a priceless treasure hidden inside. I think I'd treat my priceless treasures with a little more care. There's something on the bottom of them. Looks like a little stand or something. I was right, they are gemstones. The stands must be so they can be put on display. Well, whatever they are, it seems they're not just a large set of paperweights. If I get logic from this... These pillars, they have hexagonal indentations. Looks like something's supposed to go in there. Oh, whatever they were, they're long gone. Hexagonal indentations, huh? I wonder. Oh boy, I wonder. Castle's covered in whipped cream, so maybe a giant strawberry. A giant strawberry with a hexagonal bottom? Look, I like strawberries, okay? Can't blame a guy for wishing. I prefer bananas myself. Blueberries for me. Yeah, I'm definitely a strawberry kind of guy. Anyway. Oh, would you look at that? Oh, it fits. I'm so smart. The rock crystal stands and the pillars in front of the castle feature the same hexagonal shape. I believe the crystals are meant to be placed on top of the pillars. Oh yeah, hexagon to hexagon. Makes perfect sense. Well, if that's the case, then why were they being hidden inside the castle? I mean, yeah, the cream is runny because the temperature's high. The whipped cream in this room is collapsing because the temperature is too high. It's 68 degrees. My messed up shoes can vouch for that. And yet... when you open the doors to the castle, the handles themselves were just fine. Yeah, they were sturdier than expected. Sturdy? And that's not the way I would describe most things made of confectionaries. I think we'd better take another look at those handles, don't you? Strawberry-flavoured eggplant? Not really keen on eggplant. Or zucchini, or whatever you want to call it. Even though whenever I say zucchini, I just think of the frickin' Jawas. What the? I think it's safe to say those handles aren't made of candy. Aubergine? Is that the other word for it? Look, I don't know foods, okay? Aubergine, eggplant... what the fuck is a zucchini then? I don't know. Vegetal? Courgette? That does not narrow it down for me. What the fuck is a courgette? This would be quicker if I just googled it. It's just an eggplant that's green. It's just a green eggplant. Look, I don't know. All I know is cheese, okay? It's not just the handles, the whole castle, the little elves. They're all just plastic models with whipped cream smeared on top. Why? So none of this is confectionery art after all? No, it's simply made to look like candy, with the cream having been added to lend it an air of authenticity. She was cheating. Look, I myself may not be Greb, but Greb is my clone. So we share some similarities, such as the love of cheese. Look, I have a cheese emote and so does Greb. Okra. That's that quest item you're told to gather in Westfall when you're around level 12 in World of Warcraft in the human area. Duh. Some weird fantasy plant from Westfall Farms. There's a bunch of blue cloth back here. 1, 2, 3, 4 rolls altogether. Well, they certainly aren't made of candy. No idea what this stuff is for. Almost looks like somebody hid it in here. I think I've seen fabric of the same colour somewhere else before. Rolls of blue cloth and the rock crystals inside the castle. I imagine both must belong to Miss Scone. Miss Scone, What were you using the items inside the castle for?
Oh, those? Sorry, Lambkin, I'm not allowed to say.
Let me guess. Von Karma?
How did you know? Please don't ask me to tell you. You'll have my guts for garters.
Seems the prosecution really has no intention of
Hey,
sharing
pal,
anything with
take
the
a break.
defense.
Have some water.
Drink, thank
Stop
you.
slouching.
Man, well, we were onto something with those giant rock crystals, but... What's that, dearie? You're interested in my little trinkets?
Yeah, trinkets. Thank you for head pat and the blunt force trauma.
Yes, my sweet. I use them to make people all lovely and relaxed.
You use rock crystals and cloths to do that.
I do. It's wonderful. You should see it. And they're not just any old rock crystals either. They're great big lumps of salt with lights inside them.
Wow, those things are lamps?
Oh, that's not even the half of it. Those cloths hold an even more exciting secret.
She really opened up the moment we started talking about her trinkets.
Yeah, since you're here, why don't I give you lovely boys a taste of my relaxation magic, Oh, Patty Bumpkin, can you get it all out and set it up for me?
The name is Bad.
Is that a no? Why are you being so selfish, Patty Bumpkin?
Yo, have you finished taking photos of this room yet?
Oh, yes, sir, we have, sir.
Then help Miss Scone here with something, will you?
Oh, yes, sir, right away, sir. Oh, you're a sweetie at heart, aren't you, Batty B? That's amazing, Miss Scone. You got him to do exactly what you wanted. That's some talent. Thank you ever so much, Battykins. And you, Officer Lovely. She's even giving nicknames to the forensics guys now.
I guess it's her way of showing that she cares. So, what about this is supposed to be relaxing exactly?
Oh, don't be a big sourpuss, Batty B. The fun's only just beginning. Officer Lovely, you can switch it on now. Yes, ma'am.
I feel like this breaks all the rules, but alright. Huh?
Whoa, it's beautiful.
It is. I wish my son were here to see it.
Isn't it though? Isn't it just wonderful? 4 adorable elves in the sweetest little castle made of sweets. That's my theme, you see. It would be extra lovely if it was all lit up. Isn't it the nicest thing you've ever seen?
One of the elves must be feeling a little left out.
This is how it was supposed to look for the contest. I'm glad you lovely boys got to see it at least. Wait, shouldn't the lamps be lit up too? Oh, what's happened there, I wonder?
Maybe we better take a look at the lamps and the elves one more time.
Oh! Hello, murder weapon! Nice of you to turn up.
The lamps appear to be broken. Bulbs are smashed, both of them.
Maybe they fell and broke on the floor?
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Ah.
Oh, damn it. Look, there's a red stain on the one on the left.
That's not just a stain. That's... Yep, it's blood, alright. I can smell it.
What? Blood?
Why is there blood on this lamp? Could it have something to do with why its bulb is broken? You better take a closer look at the other one, too. So, Miss Scone had actually intended to use these lamps in her display. And why were they stashed inside the castle? Maybe because they're broken?
Except there's plenty of other places she could have put them. Best place to hide some salt is in some sugar. Isn't that how it goes? Or perhaps the best place to hide a tree is in a forest. Anyway, if her intention was to put these salt lamps in her final display, that contradicts a certain piece of evidence in my possession. I'll need to point it out by making a deduction. Does it? Is it just crime scene now? I'm gonna look around more first. That doesn't seem right. This elf doesn't have an illuminated cloth over it like the others.
It's not fair to leave the poor guy out, Miss Scone.
I'll check the Mind Palace once I've done this.
I didn't want to, did I, dear? But one of my cloths and one of my little machines went missing.
A cloth and what sort of machine exactly?
Oh, you'll never guess how it all works. Those luminous cloths are connected to these little thingamajigs. They're called full spectrum light emitting devices. They send light down the main cable and into each optical fibre strand. That's what makes the cloth glow. With a little bit of fiddling, you can change the light to any colour in the whole wide world. Bright red like ferocious fiery flames. Cold blue like clinking crystals of ice. You have these special batteries that last for donkey's years, and they don't mind the cold at all.
Forgive me. So these machines, they...
You know what makes this special luminous cloth light up in all these beautiful colours, Mr. E?
I see. So much new technology. I can barely keep up. For these light-emitting devices, you lost one of them and a piece of luminous cloth.
That's right, Lambkin. Heaven only knows where they could have got to.
This cloth could have something to do with the case. See, there's a new thing. Right, do I have anything here? Well, yeah. We know that the victim was struck and killed with something blunt, and we found blood on one of the lamps, which has a smashed bulb inside. Could the lamp not have been the murder weapon?
For sure, it could definitely do enough damage to kill someone.
You, science guy, did you finish analysing the blood from the lamp yet?
Oh yes, sir, just got done a minute ago, sir. The blood's the victim's, no doubt about it.
There you have it. Well, now the evidence is definitely pointing toward her, isn't it? So the murder weapon was hidden in Miss Scone's room. I'm beginning to think we may need to add her to our list of suspects, but I feel like it's too obvious to end up being her. Like, if it is her, I'll be disappointed. Is there anything else I need to examine? Ladder. What's the matter? Something weird about the ladder? It's not a ladder, Detective Bad, it's a step ladder. Same difference. Far from it, actually. You'd know if you'd observed their basic natures more closely.
Amazing, Mr. E. I'll have to remember this for future reference.
The stepladder jokes just keep going. Every game has them for some reason. What is Capcom's obsession with the definition of a ladder versus a stepladder?
Iggy.
You'll never guess how these things work. They're full spectrum light emitters.
So you mean...
Yep. These things put out a light that causes autism. That wasn't at all what I was going to say.
You put Fender twice here. Lauren, I think you need a spell check. You say something sometimes.
That wasn't at all what I was going to say. I thought the light just looked good.
Because he himself said... Yeah.
Yes, still with the step ladders. It never ends. What's the matter, Miss Scone? You seem a whole lot less cheerful than you were a minute ago.
Is it Mr. Von Karma? Did something happen between you two?
Yes, nothing happened at all. Wait, you just said yes. And that was a hello yes, you silly boy. And you're just the sweetest little sugar dumpling. Remind me, what was your name again? Oh, Eddie. Eddie Lumpkin. Oh, you'll go far, dearie, I can tell. Eddie Lumpkin.
It seems our English gentlewoman has taken a liking to you, Eddie. No small accomplishment.
She's not exactly what I picture when I think of a gentlewoman, Mr. E.
Never mind that now, we should ask her a few questions while we can. Could you tell us about what you did over the course of the contest?
Of course, dearie. Let's see. All started about 10 in the morning. That's when we set to work. And, well, I spent most of the time here in my room getting everything ready, as you'd expect. Oh, and there was this lovely afternoon tea for an hour or so from around 1, I think. Afternoon tea?
It's an English tradition. A chance to drink tea, enjoy a snack, and make small talk.
So, kinda like recess?
I suppose you could say that.
Oh, you really know your onions, don't you, Greggy Pegleg? Such a clever boy.
When did I become Greggy? And when was this afternoon tea served?
Now, in the garden, of course. There's a lovely little one just outside. They do it at the same hour every break time during the contest. They on a nice little spread, you know. But today only me, Samson Silly Pants, and Moody Judy were there for it. Sammy Poople had already finished his big creation, so he was there the whole time.
Sammy Poople? Alright. Stop ruining the suit, bikini. Gosh hecky.
The poor old Chillywinks and Gusty Pants had to miss out because they hadn't finished yet, bless them.
You're saying everybody except Mr. Frost and Mr. Gusto was present?
That's right, dear. To tell you the truth, I hadn't finished yet either. But I wasn't about to miss out on tea and cake served by our 2 TV superstars. I went right back to work when I'd finished, though. Tootled off while the others were still nattering away.
And at any point during the contest, did you visit any of the other competitors' rooms?
But no, Tia, don't be silly.
That's strange, because your fingerprints were found in Mr. Tangaroa's room.
Caught red-handed.
Wait, so you admit you were there?
Oh, well, I can hardly deny it now, can I? I didn't kill anybody, I swear. I suppose I better tell you what really happened. Just promise you'll believe me, won't you, dear?
Alright, what happened? What exactly were you doing in Mr. Tangaroa's room?
Well, I suppose you'd call it research.
Research?
Sammy Poople's a damn hand when it comes to the old sweet making. Everybody knows that. So when I noticed there was no one in there, I just popped in for a quick bit of research, like I say.
What kind of research leaves fingerprints?
Yes, that stands to reason I'd leave fingerprints, doesn't it? After all, it's hardly research if you don't have a little nibble now, is it? What? You ate little pieces of them?
So the traces of tampering in Mr. Tangaroa's room, that was all you?
I'm ever so sorry, sweeties. I didn't mean to make a mess. I just had to take a little bite here and there, didn't I?
You were just nibbling bits, okay. I
didn't want poor Sammy Poople getting upset, so it was just the teensiest bits and pieces.
In the stand holding up the ship, you took a bite out of that too, I suppose?
Oh yes, dear, of course I did.
It was you. You brought the whole thing crashing down.
I'm so sorry, my lovely, truly I am. Hold on, is that why you left the afternoon tea early? You were heading off for a second helping of sweets? Look, just please believe me. I never killed anybody, I promise.
Her actions were certainly suspicious. That's about all we can say for now.
Hey, this isn't ticked off. These must be the various tools Miss Scone used to build her castle. Buckets filled with cream, trowels, and a brush. She a patissier or a plasterer?
Don't you go making jokes at my expense, you cheeky young devil. I don't just slap stuff on walls like a silly old plasterer.
I sound eepy? Do I? I feel fine.
I had to spread the cream out lovely and smooth, then work out all the rough patches.
I didn't yawn, did I? Did I? If I did, I've already forgotten. That's literally exactly what a plasterer does. This doesn't have a tick on it yet. Yeah, there's something I'm missing here. That's probably the deduction point. My shoes are already covered in cream. No. I don't know what you are talking about. Are you just gaslighting me about yawning now? Because other people didn't hear it.
Iggy.
By the way, those chocolates had a weird metallic taste to them. And a weird thing happened to me afterwards. I tried to splash some water on my face, but I couldn't see my reflection in the mirror.
Can we get Prosecutor Belmont in here, please? Belmont. I mean, I'm not sleepy tired. I'm mentally exhausted tired, and I have been for several months. That hasn't ever changed. I wouldn't go any closer, unless you want the same thing to happen to you. Not too late, we're nearly halfway through. Have I considered a vacation? Have you considered giving me several £100 to afford one? You've seen what's behind those doors. There's really no need to look again. Nothing of interest here. Do I not just like throw the rulebook at this shit because it's like, it's got bulbs and stuff in it? I'd lose health if I got it wrong. Intended to use these lamps. If her intention was to put these... Yeah, that okay, yeah. 8 hours of sleep. Ha! Funny joke. Great. Yeah, just tell the person with horrible insomnia to just get 8 hours of sleep. Easy, right?
Eureka!
I'm lucky to get 4. Take a look at the list of rules for the contest, Detective. Non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration. That means the salt lamps and the luminous cloths would both have been against the rules.
Is that why they were stashed away inside the castle?
I think we need to dig a little further into this with Miss Scone before we can say for sure. Hey, you know those like little sleep gummies you can get, like melatonin? You can't get those in the UK. Illegal. Those things that you can just buy over the counter in America to help you sleep, no, you can't get those here. Not without a prescription.
Money.
And doctors don't
Red
like
Johanna just
prescribing them.
tipped £25.
Thank you,
Contributing
Red.
to the vacation fund.
I don't even know where I'd bloody go. It's not that it's illegal over the counter. You have to get it prescribed. And doctors are very hesitant to prescribe it to me, despite my asking. Because they're like, oh no, this is just a short-term fix. If you keep taking them, you'll become reliant on them and you won't be able to sleep without them. But I can't sleep anyway! Alice, okay? Alice falls asleep in like 5 minutes. Sometimes less. We'll just be watching like a couple silly TikToks together. Scrolled through like 3 different videos and I already hear her snoring. When she says, "Oh, I couldn't get much sleep last night," I want to smack her out of a window. Because her idea of not being able to sleep is, "Oh, it took me 20 minutes to fall asleep instead of 3. Meanwhile, I'm lay there for 3 hours every night, trying not to have a panic attack over my anxiety because, you know, alone in the dark with just me and my thoughts, and I can't have any background music because Alice can't sleep with any noise. Which is a freaking lie, considering how often she falls asleep with TikTok running. But yeah, sleep is not something that comes easy to me, ever. And it sucks. Getting up, that I can do. I open my eyes, if I've got a reason to get up, I will leap out of bed within like 2 seconds. Though that's also due to the fact that when I do fall asleep, I almost always have nightmares, so I can't wait to wake up again. So it's like, I'm shaking off the nightmares by just launching myself out of bed whenever I wake up. Anyway, you broke the rules, bitch. Wait, was that a logic piece and not an evidence piece? We're all fakes, rule breaking. No, I just went over that. They're, you can't get them without a prescription, Dice. You just can't. Not in the UK. So not only did she use decorations that were against the rules, she didn't even make any real sweets. Gwen is such a good girl, did you know that? Such a very, very good girl. She gets all the good girl head pats, yes she does. True. Miss Scone made a mockery of the rules. Did I miss the last line? No, I read that. Yeah, guess she's not gonna get crowned world's greatest now.
Why is it so warm in here? Maybe it's got something to do with all this.
That's a good question. I think we'd better go ask Miss Scone herself. Miss Scone, why is the temperature of your room set to 68 degrees?
Because I hate the cold, don't I, dearie? And besides, being chilly's no good for a girl. If I want to keep my fresh-faced complexion, I've got to be careful about these things.
You don't know shit about confectionery, do you?
We ladies have to stay young, don't you know? How old is she really, though? That's what I'd like to know.
It's not polite to speculate on a person's age, Eddie. Ow.
Remember to get at least 6 hours of sleep, eat 2 meals, and take 1 shower every day. It's a formula used to maintain health at conventions. Just remember, 6W.
Ah yes, 6W. Thank you, Lauren. But just remember 6W. And most of your work is made out of whipped cream. And whipped cream needs to be kept at 50 degrees or it starts to deflate.
It's not so, dearie. Oh, silly me, eh? Only gone and made a whoopsie. Wait, she really didn't know that?
World-class confectioner, my foot. Not only did she break the rules by using fake candy, she's ignorant of basic facts about her supposed craft. Miss Scone grows more mysterious by the minute. Doesn't know basic facts, and you were performing research. I think you just wanted to eat some chocolate, and you're just here to do that, and you just don't know shit. Miss Scone appears to lack basic knowledge about how confectionery is created. She says that she snuck into another entrance room for research purposes. Hardly the actions of a world-class confectioner competing for a major prize. Yeah, not how I'd picture a top pro acting. Does she maybe just lack a little confidence, or... or is she not actually a confectioner at all? Antihistamines have drowsiness as a side effect. Yeah, my antidepressants have drowsiness as a side effect. But, you know, when you're on them for long enough, you stop getting drowsiness as a side effect because your body acclimates to them. So, if anything, these would probably more often than not just be a quick fix that won't, you know, resolve anything in the long term. But then again, I don't know how the fuck to solve anything in the long term in regards to my sleep. Perhaps she had another agenda altogether. After all, we only have her word for it that she went into that room to do some research. Do I take anxiety meds? Yes. I am on medication for both my clinical depression and a major anxiety disorder. It's great. I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm currently on 4 kinds of medication a day. A big comedy mallet. Oh yeah, just put me to sleep. Just bonk me on the head until I'm knocked out. My anxiety medication, they're also used as heart medication. What are they? Are they beta blockers or something? Hang on, let me Google my meds. Medicine for heart problems and anxiety. Yeah, they are beta blockers. I had a really weird fucking time at a chemist once. This is years back and it just stuck with me. I was just picking up my prescription medicine, and the person at the counter at like the chemist where you just get your medicines from is like, "Oh dearie, oh I'm so sorry for your heart." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So I don't think you're meant to talk to people about their medications. This seems a bit unprofessional. Plus, you've got the complete wrong idea. These medications are used more for just that. She just thought I was fucking dying. After all, we to do some research. I read that bit.
Wait, you mean maybe she went in there to commit a murder?
There's no way of saying so for certain just yet. But she is hiding something. That much I'm certain of. What manufacturer do you prefer because it affects price? I don't have to pay for mine in here in the UK. Because I am a recipient of certain benefits from the government. I don't have to pay for my prescriptions. Even if I did, it would be like 12 quid. Greb ran away with my heart? Literally. Again? Kind of need that.
Iggy.
Phoenix? What? Your Honor, my client would like to represent himself. Well, that's just silly. Why would he want to do that?
Your Honor, I am a sovereign individual and I will not stand for this habeas corpus lorem ipsum or dollar sic amet.
Oh God, he's one of those. What? Greb is a cheeky Greb. Look, if Greb thinks it can get away with it, it'll just pinch your liver. So just keep an eye out, okay? That's enough investigating for now, don't you think? Yes, we've certainly found plenty of interest. No, I haven't, Mystic. There's a lot of things I've not heard about. This is why I'm a streamer. I'm a stupid. 3 men on the... What is that? I've not heard that either. Okay, you're making me Google so much today.
It's a movement, a loose group of anti-government activists, litigants, tax protesters, financial scammers, and conspiracy theorists. What? Alright, let me reword that. I am lacking in knowledge in multiple areas. Is that better? Something's been bothering me for a while now. Switch back to the game. Mr. Von Karma would surely have found the murder weapon when he searched this room. And yet he didn't arrest Miss Scone. He didn't even seem interested in questioning her. I think our first priority should be to find out what he's really up to. Detective Bad, I have a few things I'd like to ask Mr. Von Karma. Me too. Him and Scone. Honestly though, I got into streaming because it made people smile. That's it. I just want to be able to make a difference. Just a handful of people. I just think that'd be nice. And if I didn't have anything to do, I would probably go clinically insane. Like, more so than normal. I just want to help improve people's days, and if I can raise money for good causes at times, I will do that too. Thank you for the follow.
How could you, Patty Bumpkin? Stop staring at me like that.
It appears Detective Bad is just as suspicious of Mr. Von Karma and Miss Scone as I am. Miss Scone, would you be so kind as to accompany us?
Of course, dear. Where are we off to?
Find Mr. Von Karma. I'm a stupid.
No.
I mean, there were other things I wanted to try and get into when I was growing up, and all of that kind of fell apart. Despite my efforts. Mr. Von Karma, we'd like to speak with you if that's alright.
Judging by your faces, I'm guessing you found the murder weapon?
We did. It was in Miss Scone's room. Which means that Mr. Tangaroa should no longer be the only person of interest.
Huh, nonsense. It doesn't matter where the weapon was found. Tangaroa is guilty. And as long as this is my case, guilty he shall remain.
How can he be so sure of Mr. Tangaroa's guilt? You have an explanation, I assume, for why the murder weapon was in Miss Scone's room?
Of course I do. And I'll be delighted to share it with you.
Oh dear.
Tangaroa killed Frost with one of Scone's salt lamps in order to frame her for the murder. To complete the deception, he took it back to her room once the deed was done. After all, if it had been found near the victim's body, Tangaroa would have seemed doubly suspicious. A body may be hard to move, but a murder weapon, considerably less so. And that is why there was no piece of evidence on the scene that pointed to a particular suspect.
So it's your assertion that Mr. Tangaroa took the salt lamp back to Miss Scone's room?
It is indeed. But it is more than an assertion. It is a fact based on my own investigation.
You mean you have proof that he did so?
I don't need any such thing. What? If you have a rebuttal, I'll be happy to hear it. But I highly doubt you'll be able to fault my logic.
Okay. Kill Frost with one of Scone's salt lamps. Complete the deception, he took it back to her room when he was done. If it had been found near the body, it would have been doubly suspicious. Body hard to move, but a murder weapon less. And that's why there was no evidence on the scene that pointed to a particular suspect.
You
You are really proud of yourself, aren't you? 44 pounds of cheese?
And yes, even though Von Karma won this case back in Game 1 when it was mentioned, something happened to stain his honor. Like, it was revealed he was using dirty tricks or some shit. So he held a grudge against Gregory, and what led to him murdering him. Isn't that nice?
Hold it!
But if there's no proof, how can you say for certain that Mr. Tangaroa is the culprit? Is that the best you can do at pressing me? Listen here, the presence of the body in Tangaroa's room is in itself proof enough of his guilt.
Objection!
And you didn't find evidence pointing to any other possible suspects? Perhaps you should take another look. You might... You really don't give up, do you? There is no need to take another look. Tangaroa is guilty, end of story. This game is not a prequel, this is just a flashback case. If you insist on asserting otherwise, then show me some proof to back up your ridiculous claims. I have to think back over the scene of the crime. If Mr. Tangaroa really isn't guilty, then there must be something that points to somebody else. Pressing Mr. Von Karma on any of his statements won't have much of an effect, I fear. My only hope is to find a piece of evidence that contradicts his claims. A piece of evidence that points to another suspect. The cloth the body was wrapped in? Perchance. You have proof of any of this? Proof? You think I need proof? Let me tell you something, peasant. If I tell you to jump, you jump. If I tell you to slap yourself in the face with this heading, you slap yourself with this heading. If I tell you Tangaroa murdered that man, then you better get him in cuffs, or I will have your lawyer's badge. Understand? Okay. Lauren, you're like the #1 user of the say something command, but could you please make it less than a whole paragraph? Sometimes? Anyway, objection.
Objection!
It's true that the murder weapon and the blood-stained chocolate were removed from the scene of the crime. But something else remained that does point to one person in particular. Take another look at the photograph of the body, if you will. The cloth covering the victim's lower half. Is that not of the same luminous cloths we found in Miss Scone's room? Thank you for headpan.
What's that, dearie? One of my lovely colourful cloths? At the scene of the crime, you say?
Luminous cloth. Nonsense! I see no light to speak of.
I guess he doesn't know how it works.
It may look like ordinary fabric at first glance, but attach one of these light-emitting devices, and the difference soon becomes apparent.
Look at his face. Don't think he was expecting that.
But the fact that the cloth can be lit up is neither here nor there. We have to show why it's important. One of the rolls of cloth from Miss Scone's room went missing. And if you look closely at the blue cloth in the picture, wouldn't you say it's clearly made of the same material, Mr. Von Karma? The sword lamp and the luminous cloth both belong to Miss Scone. And seeing as the body was wrapped in said cloth, surely even you have to admit that's suspicious. Mr. Von Karma, I think it's time to accept that a number of factors point to Miss Scone as a person of interest. Oh, she caught it with her foot.
Greggy Pegleg, how could you? You're accusing me, of all people?
I'm not accusing you of anything just yet. But I do think you're hiding something.
That's not...
Just to clarify,
Your assertion is both the murder weapon and the cloth were in Miss Scone's room prior to the murder?
Exactly. Something funny.
Only that you've walked so carelessly into my trap. And neither the cloth nor the murder weapon were in fact in her room. So sorry to have to break it to you.
What does he mean?
Tangaroa spotted them before the contest began and noted that the lamps and cloths contravened the rules. He subsequently confiscated them and took them to his own room for safekeeping.
What?
Then, after the contest began, nobody saw hide nor hair of Frost as he had secluded himself in his room. And the only person capable of entering his locked room was Tangaroa, possessing as he did the only key. And as you now know, he was also in possession of the lamp used to commit the murder. So you see, I have had everything I need to get Tangaroa convicted all along. Well, how does it feel? To have lost to me before even setting foot in the courtroom.
This can't be happening.
Wait, all our hard work was for nothing? Miss Scone, why didn't you tell us your stuff was confiscated by Mr. Tangaroa? Well, dear, Mannequin said that if I spilled the beans, I'd end up being the one under suspicion. But Mr. Von Karma said that. And he wasn't wrong now, was he? You two accused me yourselves just a second ago.
Pathetic. Curse you, Von Karma. You led us to the murder weapon knowing we'd make certain assumptions as a result.
One more thing, my pathetic friend. There are 2, and only 2, sets of fingerprints on the murder weapon.
2?
Yes, those of Delicia Scone and Samson Tangaroa. No others were found. Tangaroa used the lamp he had confiscated to murder Frost, and was foolish enough to hide it in Scone's room without first removing his fingerprints. At this rate, no one will even need to testify. My perfect evidence will do all the talking for me as I secure his guilty verdict.
Objection!
But wait! What about the luminous cloth that was left behind in Mr. Tangaroa's room?
What about it? He probably meant to return it after disposing of the body.
Don't have enough to disprove any of what he's saying.
Tut tut tut. No more pitiful objections. Then get out of my sight and close the door behind you. Mr. E!
I'm not about to just give up.
I see you mean to waste more of my time. Bad. Escort them off the premises. Now.
This investigation is not over yet. And Detective Bad.
What is the meaning of this?
Sorry, but I'm not in the habit of leaving cases half solved. There's still one last thing from the crime scene we haven't identified. He's right. We still have the evidence of somebody's activities to account for.
We can discuss your lingering doubts at our leisure, Detective. But whatever they might be, they're no business of the defense's.
Objection!
I beg to differ. There's a piece of evidence I'm still not satisfied about either. And I suspect it might be the same thing that's bothering Detective Bad.
What?
This is the yet unidentified something that was left in Mr. Tangaroa's room.
Take that!
This? There are finger marks on one of Mr. Tangaroa's creations. Supposing they belong to the murderer, it could certainly explain how their prints didn't end up on the murder weapon.
How do you know so much about the crime scene?
Because I let them look around.
You let the defense examine the scene, Bad? Are you out of your mind?
I don't remember you telling me not to.
Insolent worm. You would do well to remember this then, detective. That the results of your next salary review is up to me. Oh.
Detective Bear's in trouble now too. I'm sure glad you're my boss, Mr. Edgeworth.
As long as you remember that the results of your salary review is up to your performance on this case.
A mere attorney uncovering such a fact based on a cursory investigation. I'm almost impressed. But it's entirely possible those finger marks belong to Tangaroa. After all, he wore gloves while preparing his creations.
Objection!
But can you prove conclusively that the finger marks are his? Furthermore, there's still something about Miss Scone that doesn't add up.
Is there? Or are you simply not prepared to admit defeat?
No, stop it, Greggy. Stop it. Why are you being so mean to your poor old pal Delicia? I owned up to nibbling poor Sammy Poople, sweeties. Well, what do you want?
I don't want to have to make you a suspect, that much is certain. But you lied to us. And you're still not telling us everything.
Greggy, stop it. Stop bullying me. I'm telling on you. I'll get you done.
I'm sorry, but you don't even know the temperature whipped cream should be kept at. What kind of professional confectioner doesn't know something as fundamental as that?
I'm sorry, alright? I'm sorry, I'm just a silly, muddle-headed girl. What more do you want me to say?
I don't think you're muddle-headed at all. I think that you were never a confectioner in the first place.
Enough! I'll thank you to keep your baseless accusations to yourself. Evidence is everything in a courtroom, in case you've forgotten.
We're not in a courtroom.
If you're going to accuse a witness of perjury, then I demand that you present something to back it up.
This isn't a courtroom, is it? Nevertheless. What proof do I have that Miss Scone doesn't know the first thing about making desserts? The fact that all her shit's fake?
Take that!
Every single one of Miss Scone's creations break the rules of the contest.
The offending items, the cloths and the lamps, were duly confiscated, as we have established. And the witness did not go and bring them back to her room herself.
Objection!
But those weren't the only rule-breaking items in her room.
What?
The entire fantastical world Miss Scone created. Every last bit of it. It's all just a collection of plastic models slathered in whipped cream. That cream is the only authentic confectionery in the room.
No real world title contender would ever stoop so low. Is this true, Bad?
Yep. Saw it with my own eyes. Stepped in it with my own shoes.
Did we finally convince him?
If her lie's exposed like this, surely he can't continue to deny the facts. Miss Scone, your actions place you firmly in our list of suspects.
No, dear, I'm no killer.
Then why don't you finally start telling us the truth? Who are you really? And why were you tampering with your rival's work?
All right. The truth is, I'm not the adorable little cook you see before you. I'm actually a pharmacist, if you can believe it.
A pharmacist?
Can't blame him for being so surprised. This couldn't be further from what we'd imagined. So what's somebody in your line of work doing entering a contest like this one?
Well, I just love eating sweeties, if you must know. And Sammy Poople sweets are the best, or so they say. I just had to enter. I didn't mean to end up making it all the way to the final.
Even Mr. Von Karma's lost for words.
That's it? That's the only reason you're here? Yes, dearie. And it was worth it. Samson's Silly Pants sweeties are the tastiest treats I ever did eat.
And the finger marks? Are you the one wearing the gloves?
No, that wasn't me, dear. I don't even wear gloves.
Remember, Miss Scone's fingerprints were found elsewhere on Mr. Tangaroa's other creations. I'd say that points to her not having worn any gloves.
Exactly, Lambkin. Reggie Pegleg's got the right end of the stick.
an innocent woman. Is your head filled with cream too? Sorry, mannequins.
Her head may not be filled with cream, but she's certainly no master of subterfuge. Miss Scone, were Mr. Tangaroa's works the only ones you sampled?
No, dear. I couldn't help myself. When I finished my afternoon tea, I tiptoed over to Chillywinks' room for a little taste too.
You're in the victim's room too?
Yes, dear. Nobody was in there, you see.
Quite possibly because the occupant was already dead.
But I could only stomach one little bite. I never tasted anything so salty in all my life. So I had myself one of the tasty star-shaped bits off to the side to cleanse my palate. You have quite the sweet tooth, don't you, Miss Scone?
Indeed. What didn't she sample?
That's everything, I promise. Greggy Peggles, mannequins. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make a mess of things.
As long as what you've told us is the truth, that's all that matters in the end.
Do not think for a second that this means I myself believe you. I'm going to investigate the victim's room now. We'll see how truthful you've really been after I'm through.
Mr. Von Karma, please let us accompany you. I think it's only fair that we be allowed to investigate the veracity of our conclusions.
Accompany me if you like, but don't think for a second you'll be permitted to conduct your own investigation.
We'd like to accompany you all the same. Objection! We have hard evidence that you didn't sample the asparagus jelly.
The what?
It is now 9 p.m. Christmas Eve. Inside Frost's room, the victim.
What is the meaning of this? Oh. When we got to Frost's room, we saw nada. It was all gone. The whole enchilada. Was this the work of the culprit? A dead body hidden in a chocolate chest? A murder weapon moved mysteriously to another room? This case was a real peach. It was going to take some serious sleuthing to get to the bottom of it all.
To be continued. Oh, we're back in the present. Okay. April 2nd, 10:15 a.m. Zodiac Hall, Fountain Room.
Oh, went deep on that one. Sorry, Mauserino. Didn't mean to bend your ear for so long.
I had no idea that was how it all came about. I read the files, but they don't go into anywhere near that level of detail.
I'll bet they paint things in a much rosier light for the prosecution, too. Von Karma was the one in charge, after all.
What happened with the case after that?
Well, what with the ice sculptures vanishing from the victim's room, things hit a bit of a rough patch. So rough, in fact, that it took a full year before they could even reach a verdict in the trial.
A year?
This was back before they brought in the whole initial trial thing. You didn't have to finish up in double quick time like you do nowadays.
I see. Did they ever find out how the victim's creations managed to just disappear?
Well, there were sorbets or frozen desserts or whatever you want to call them. Ice, in other words. And if it's made of ice, it can melt, which is exactly what they concluded must have happened. And there's a chance that wasn't how things actually went down.
What do you mean?
So this place is a gallery these days, but back then it was Samson Tangaroa's place, yeah?
Indeed. And the site of the IS-7 incident.
Well, word is Frost's ice sculptures are suddenly back on display, 18 years after that fateful day.
The very sculptures the victim made?
Who knows? Could be they're just modelled on the originals. But I figured it was worth coming down for a little look-see just in case. Seemed like the least I could do for poor old Gregory. Alrighty then, let's go take a look at these icy marvels, shall we, kiddo? I believe they're on display in the Winter Wing, as it's very snazzily known. So, Winter Wing. Oh, I don't believe it, it's locked. Gallery's open for biz, but the Winter Wonder Wing's off limits? What gives?
Fender, perhaps you should look more closely at the pamphlet we were given. The Winter Wing is over there.
It is?
Oh, freaky. Could have sworn it was this one.
Anywho, shall we? Time to dive on in and see what we should have seen 18 years ago.
Oh my god, Mask the Mask is here.
Oh, I see they're still keeping it chilly as all heck in these rooms. I'm about to turn into a popsicle stick.
It is the Winter Wing, you know. But you're right, it's like a freezer in here. It could be a trick of the light, but it feels like the whole room is made of ice.
Temperature controls will be somewhere at the back there, if memory serves. Hey, Milester, you go peep the degree count? I'm thinking a complaint to the management is in order. There is such a thing as too cold, yeah?
Alright, if you insist.
Take your time, mosey around and take in the sights while you're at it. I've got a camera I need to prep for action. Feel like your pop might appreciate a picture of all this. I'll put it on his grave so we can have a gander.
Of course. Alright, can I? Hello.
Mazzarino, mind if I ask you something?
Of course, assuming it's something I can help with.
I was wondering, do you think we're allowed to take pics in here?
You didn't check? I don't see any signs, and we weren't told not to, so I suppose it's probably okay.
Good, because even if I wasn't, I was planning to grab my shots anyway. Gregory always wanted to see the place. And what Gregory wants, Gregory gets.
My father. What would he have noticed if he were here? Perhaps if he had the chance to see it, that trial might have... No. What's happened, happened.
So how about this? I scream out, oh no, this must be the work of that villain Damask.
Yeah, and I go, that's me, the legendary Mask Damask.
Yeah, and then, no, say that and you'll be in cuffs before you can blink, Ronnie. Gotta take this more seriously. Otherwise, how are we gonna get this to market to sell?
What exactly are these two plotting? Huh. Fender, I can't seem to find the temperature controls you mentioned.
Oh yeah, it's a little tricky if you don't know where it's at. Here, I'll have it open for you in a jiffy. Huh? Dang thing's locked. Makes sense, I guess. Wouldn't want the visitors cranking up the thermostat and melting the art.
According to the pamphlet, the Winter Wing is kept at a constant 27 degrees.
Oh, wait, that's colder than a snowman's cold bits. I'm gonna freeze to death in here.
What's that in C? 27F in C? -2. Yeah, that's quite chilly. Okay.
There's just only one thing for it. Somebody's getting a snuggle.
Now, if it was 27F and C, then it would be quite warm. Quite nice, actually, 27.
Hey, what's with the icy stare? You want me to freeze to death?
No. This lamp appears to be made of rock salt. It's illuminating the diagram of the zodiac just above it. Yes, both Gemini and Taurus are not only zodiac signs, but constellations that are visible during winter. Winter constellations on display in the Winter Wing, and uniquely these statues are made of flavoured ice. According to the pamphlet we received, the ones in the other rooms are made of crystal glass. Ice might be rather fitting for the summer wing too. Who doesn't like a nice snow cone on a sunny day?
Well, there's nothing for it. Someone's getting a snuggle.
Touch me and die. But then, it would probably be too similar to this room, I suppose.
Hello. Boy wearing a backpack. What's he doing at an art gallery on his own? She wanted to run a gallery so bad she just quit the industry? I don't get it. I just don't get it. Does this boy know the owner of the gallery? There's a huge block of ice on display here. Must be incredibly heavy, though maybe not, of being hollow on the inside. There's a constellation engraved into the surface, along with some explanatory text. Pleiades, known to some as Subaru, they are part of the larger constellation of Taurus. Why cram so many stars into one tiny part of a single constellation? I guess people in ancient times weren't hugely careful about such things. There are 2 large ice statues on display here. I guess there are remakes of Frost's work from 18 years back. Real eye-catching stuff. Ice sculpture's a heck of an art form, huh? It is. These are the works my father never got to see. To think that I get to see them instead, so many years later. Sorry to butt in while you're deep in a think hole, Milester. But would you mind looking this way a sec? Yep, this way.
Beautiful, yeah, just like that.
Penda, really?
Say cheese!
Please don't do that again. I don't like having my picture taken.
My bad, big guy, my bad. Had to check if this whole thing was still working is all.
And now that you mention it, your camera does look rather ancient.
Yep, vintage model. You ever hear of an instant camera? Develops the picture right after you take the shot. Still twist my noggin trying to think how it works.
I know what an instant camera is, although I've never used one.
Should have known Mr. Know-It-All would know it all. You really are your father's son. Alright, step inside. Step aside. I need to get some good shots of the room here.
For all his joking, he looks very serious about the pictures he's taking. He must have his own theories about the IS-7 incident.
Oh, that should have been a paparazzo. These are gold. They develop right away. Want to see?
Well, since you've already shoved one in my face...
Alright, Brainiac. Question. What do these 2 sculptures represent?
They appear to represent Taurus and Gemini, 2 constellations best observed during wintertime.
Bingo! He shoots, he scores. You're a regular encyclopedia, Milester.
Excuse me.
Guess that's why this is the Winter Wing, right? Because they have the Winter Star stuff on display here. Anyway, seeing as I'm the nicest old rogue on the block, that one's yours for keepsies.
Thanks. Okay. So the victim made these same Zodiac statues out of flavored ice for the contest 18 years ago?
Sure did. Lovingly crafted life-size desserts. I only ever saw the old ones in photos, though. But these are the spit of the originals.
So this is what you wanted to show me?
Yep. I think Gregory would have wanted you to see them too. And I may not have had it in me to come here on my own. Sorry to drag you along.
Not at all. Happy to be able to see where my father's final case unfolded.
Good to hear you say so, Paleo. Let's say we grab another quick snap to commemorate this heartwarming occasion.
Absolutely not.
Valerie, it's time to hydrate.
Thank
Stop
you.
slouching.
Alrighty, I got the shots I wanted. Shall we scoot on over to another wing and see what's cooking? Might as well do the full tour while we're here.
I suppose so.
Ah.
The conclusion of case 2? The warden did it. Warden Laguagua. What was that?
It came from the fountain room. Come on, let's go see what's up.
What was her motive? She thought Knight was one of the big bad assassin guy's lackeys. Because she saw that they were playing chess together, and the big assassin guy, who I forget his name, Canis, had threatened her multiple times. I think that's how it went. Canis. As in K9, Canis. Oh, for fuck's sake, Larry! Are you dead now too? That's the fricking sugar guy. Okay. Great. Wonderful. There's someone on the ground. And is that... Larry? What are you doing here? Actually, never mind that. What on earth is going on?
Neji! You should have seen it. It was awful.
Just calm down and tell me why there's an unconscious man on the floor.
I didn't do anything. He just fell down in front of me.
Wait.
I know this guy.
Oh my god, these two are still here?
Is everything alright? Oh, you know it's rude to make a racket in an art gallery, you naughty boys.
Wait, the smell.
He's still breathing, but I know these symptoms. It's not safe, Miles. We need to get everybody out of here.
Everyone with me, there isn't a moment to lose. There's poison gas coming out of that room. Oh, okay. Thankfully, it's a gas you can smell, not one of those odorless ones that kill you instantly. How's the victim doing, Fender?
Not good. He inhaled a lot of gas. He's still out and it sounds like it's pretty serious. But the paramedics said there were no sign of external injury and that he was conscious before it happened. Anyway, he's alive, just barely. He's lucky we found him when we did. But like I said, he's not out of the woods yet. They put him in the medical room with a specialist.
I see. Couldn't help noticing that it seemed like you knew him, Fender.
I sure do. That was Carmelo Gusto. He was here back when the whole IS-7 thing went down.
The confectioner. So he was here 18 years ago too.
Any hoozles, this guy here seems like he's in rude health. Oh, pal of yours, Malzarino?
Yes, something like that. I'm glad you're okay, Larry.
Something like that? Are you serious, Edgy? You've known me since elementary school. Crush your guy's feelings, why don't ya? Anyway, you know you're supposed to call me Laura Stoneman when I'm dressed like this. So no more Larry, okay? Got that?
This is Larry Butts. He's a bit of a troublemaker, but he's one of my only friends from back when we were little kids. Ever since he developed a passion for art, he's been trying to make it big as Loris Dunim. But new name or not, he's still the same old Larry.
Whoa, great school buddies. I need to go tell Gregory about this. I'll be over the moon to hear you have a pal. He was always worried he'd never click with anybody. Hear that, Edgy? You're lucky to have a friend like me.
I never knew I was the cause of such worries for my father. Never mind that now, Larry. What are you doing here?
Loris, Edgy. How many times do I have to tell you it's Loris?
What are you doing here?
What's with the demon eyes? Alright, I'll talk. Just stop looking at me like that.
Good, now talk.
You wanna know why I'm here? Why the heck do you think? For my art, of course. Oh, and I'm coming on a date here with Lulu soon, so I thought I'd better scope the place out.
So not actually for your art at all.
Loris, my man. An artist and a romantic. You'll have to introduce me to this lady friend of yours. Oh, sure, it's nice to have somebody take an interest for once.
Spare me.
Oh, by the way, Lauricio. Did you notice anything when you found the victim?
Nothing in particular.
Didn't you say you'd seen something awful?
Oh, that. The old guy, he just appeared and then splat. He was on the floor. Scared the life out of me. Well, for once, I had nothing to do with any of it.
Don't look so proud. That's the least we should be able to hope for. This is no longer in the past, Zixki. Because Gregory is not here. Actually, it depends on the chronology of the games you're thinking about, because this takes place before Apollo Justice. You have Ace Attorney, like Phoenix Wright 1, 2, and 3, like Justice for All, Trials and Tribulations. Ace Attorney Investigations 1 and 2. Then Apollo Justice. Then Dual Destinies, then Spirit of Justice. That's the full timeline. But depending on the games, some points of the games do have flashbacks to other parts of the story. So yes, if he was arrested, that would cause a time paradox. Unless he got out between now and Apollo Justice. And the Great Ace Attorney is about 100 years prior still, yes. But I didn't count that because that's kind of its own sort of spin-off. With like an ancestor of Phoenix Wright, Naruhodo, Ryu something. I forget. Either while he was disbarred or before he got disbarred. Ryosuke Naruhodo, that was it.
Honoured guests, I can only apologise for the trouble you've experienced. I am Judy Bound, the gallery manager.
Another person from the IS-7 incident.
Good to see you, Judes. Mr. Fender, it's always a pleasure.
She was at the reception desk when we arrived, so she's the one in charge here.
Can't believe you had to go through something so awful, and on our first day in business.
Hey, quit that. It's not your fault. Oh wait, I guess I better introduce you guys. Judy, meet Miles Edgeworth, son of the late great Gregory.
Really? You're Mr. Edgeworth's son? Wow. Isn't this fabulous? That great man's son here with us. 18 long years have passed, but now look, he's here at last. It's very lovely to meet you, Mr. Fine Attorney number 2.
Judy, that was the bomb. I see you're in good voice as ever.
Miles Edgeworth, prosecutor. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, you're a prosecutor. So sorry. Forgive me for jumping to conclusions.
She's very polite, but there's something strange about her.
Hey, Judy, can I get an autograph? You can write it in here.
Well, if you're sure you'd even want such a thing.
Why do you want it, Larry?
Rude. You know who she is, right? Come on, Milester. You don't keep up with showbiz news or nothing. Guess that's no big surprise.
What's going on? Why are they looking at me like that?
Judy here's a living legend. It's not just TV, movies, musicals, chart-topping hits, you name it.
Oh, don't be silly. I'm just a humble art gallery owner now. I finally quit the biz for good. I finished shooting my last movie just the other day, in fact. Some of my co-stars were even kind enough to say that they would come visit once we opened. Anyway, here you are, and good luck with your artistic endeavours.
Thanks so much, Judy. I'll treasure it till my dying day. You and me are peas in a pod, Larice. Peas in a gosh dang pod.
How lovely for you both. Larry, could you go practice your drawing somewhere or something? You did come all the way to an art gallery after all. Be ashamed to waste the opportunity.
Real artists drawing our exhibits? Oh, what an honour.
Yeah, I guess even you can have a bright idea once in a while, Edgy. Alright, Judy. Seeing as you were so nice about it, I guess I will. Be right back. Just don't go into the poison room.
It's a real live wire, that one.
That's one way of putting it.
Eek.
I can only apologise.
I'll treasure this until the end of my days. This is going straight on eBay.
By the way, there was another woman with you before. Where is she now?
You mean Delicia? Delicia Scone? She's in the medical room helping to care for Mr. Gusto. I call it the medical room, but it's nothing quite so grand, of course. I couldn't stay with them as I'm the only one on staff and I can't leave the gallery unattended for long.
Alicia Scone. We've heard that name before, haven't we, Fender?
Sure have.
Sounds like a... Excuse me?
Sounds like our IS-7 bingo card is complete. Something tells me this isn't a coinkydink. Perhaps I could offer you gentlemen a cup of tea? Drop of the old Judy-bound special blend? Oh, why not, for old time's sake.
That would be lovely, thank you.
Now, if you'll both excuse me, I better go and explain things to the other visitors. You go do your thing, Judes. Thanks again.
This aroma. Ceylon, I believe. Let's give it a try. This is a fine blend. Top quality Ceylon indeed. Its citrus aroma.
It's said to improve one's ability to concentrate, right? Your old man said those exact words 18 years ago. Really takes me back. There's just one difference. Jude's cooled the saucers back then. Not today, though, it seems.
Anyway, do you think this is all a little odd?
Every single person from an 18-year-old case all assembled in the same place at the same time?
Yes. Almost feels as if an investigation is in order.
Mr. Edgeworth, sir, you're all right.
Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender. We heard you got caught up in a poison gas attack, so we came as fast as we could. Well, if it isn't the cavalry. Come on, team, bring it in. No way. Besides, you're both doing just fine. Gummy and I got ourselves all worked up over nothing.
And Detective Goofshoe, what were you thinking bringing Kay with you?
Sorry, sir. I knew it was dangerous, what with the poison gas and all, but she wouldn't take no for an answer. I ran and I ran and I ran and I ran, but I just couldn't shake her off.
When it comes to running away, the great thief right here is the world champ.
Then run away. Don't chase the poor detective.
All set, sir. Just say the word and I'll head in there and start investigating. You guys stay here. The
Well,
gas could still be dangerous.
Stop slouching.
Have a drink, thank you. Alright, we're counting on you, Detective.
Good looking there, Dickie boy. No way. Gummy almost looked like a real detective. I'm so proud of him.
But he is a real detective. This is Edgeworth speaking.
Mr. Edgeworth, looks like the gas is mostly dissipated, sir.
Mostly. Oh. Very good, Detective. Now calm down and tell me what you see.
Yes, sir. First up, the exhibits. There's a statue of two people on the left side. And on the right, some kind of two-horned animal.
Wait, a statue of two people and a two-horned animal? That sounds familiar. In fact, it sounds identical to the display in the Winter Wing.
Other than that, the place is looking pretty damp. The sprinklers sprayed the place good. Must be what stopped the gas from spreading.
The sprinklers? Are there any signs of a fire?
No, sir. The fire alarm hasn't been triggered either. The sprinklers look like the type that detect heat and smoke.
When they detect something, they send an alarm, either fire or smoke, to the security room. Guess they read the gas as smoke and triggered the smoke alarm that way.
And was anyone in the security room when that alarm went off?
This place only has one employee, and that's Judy Bound, the manager.
One person manages the whole That's... Okay.
Well, she was at the reception desk across from the security room the whole time since the gallery opened.
So she heard the alarm from across the way and turned on the sprinklers?
Yep, seems like they could only be switched on manually, but only from there. Wouldn't want the art getting soaked for no good reason, I guess. And if it's manual, you could maybe even check how bad the fire was and try to get some stuff out first.
So the security setup is geared around protecting the exhibits. It makes sense in an art gallery, I guess.
Ugh, one more thing, it's freezing in here. This isn't the autumn wing, it's the deep midwinter wing. Wing? Ugh. It's so cold I can't even speak right.
So the autumn wing is cold too.
Check the temperature. It's 26.5 degrees in here, sir.
Can someone please just use the normal measurement of temperature? -3, okay. What is it in Kelvin? 270 Kelvin. Oh my god. Why is the autumn wing being kept at the same temperature as the winter wing?
That's about all I've got for now. I'll let you know if I find anything else, sir.
Understood. Thank you, Detective Gumshoe.
Well, we're not in America, we're in Japanifornia. What did Gummy have to say?
You said that the autumn wing is actually quite wintry.
Huh? I don't get it.
I'm wondering what it could mean myself, but it's a bit hard to tell from out here. We should try to get in there as soon as the police are done with their investigation.
Amen to that. We need to see what the deal is for ourselves. Is there anybody else who might know something in the meantime? Oh yeah, there's one guy. Miles' best bud. His what?
If we have to. And I guess we have to.
Wait, that's... Okay, didn't expect to see you here. You're looking as fresh-faced as ever. Yeah, long time no see, Larry, right? So here's the deal, Kay. I'm Laurice right now. You see, I'm also a bit of an artist. Ah, so it's your alias. I like it. Good to see you, Laurice. I always knew you were a nice, thoughtful kid. Unlike some people.
I have some questions for you, Larry.
What the? How am I a suspect? Just because I found the guy doesn't mean I did the crime.
I never said you did. I just need you to tell us what you saw. You said you saw something awful. How so exactly?
Look, I didn't see anything. I didn't do anything, okay? I don't think I did anyway. Whoa, Chief. You don't sound too sure of yourself at the end there.
There's something you should know about him, Fender. When something smells, it's usually the butts. We've been saying that about Larry for 26 years now. 26 years.
Oh, ever since he was born.
His ability to attract trouble is legendary, for want of a better word. His ability to cause trouble, too. I suppose I'd better find out what he did this time.
Oh, we're going straight into mind chess. Okay.
Our aim is to uncover anything that Larry might be hiding. However,
I didn't see anything, I didn't do anything, and you can't prove otherwise.
It's almost impossible for him to keep his cool. I'll need to bide my time when he gets agitated and wait for him to calm down. Let's start by asking him to go into detail about what he's doing here. He shouldn't prove to be too much of a challenge. So let's get this over with. Why are you here, Larry? Why exactly did you come to the gallery today?
What kind of question's that? What, you think I don't belong in a gallery or something? Hey, if you're gonna ignore me, then I'm gonna paint your portrait. And when I'm done, I'll scribble all over it. I'm joking, okay? I'll never scribble on one of my pieces. How could I? They're valuable artworks.
According to you, perhaps. I imagine I might struggle to agree.
Now laugh it up, funny guy. Luckily, some people actually believe in my work. She's called Lulu, okay? And she says my pictures are masterpieces. So if she likes something, I'll draw it for her. Anything. Anything at all.
Where is this Lulu? How come you're here alone?
What, a guy can't be apart from his girlfriend for 1 second? I have my own life too, you know. Fine. Lulu said she's a Gemini, okay? So I thought I could do a sketch of the statue to show her on our date.
And I expect you're pretty proud of this sketch?
Not so much this time, actually. But you know, it being her sign and all, I just thought she'd maybe kind of like it.
How very like you to try to tell me nothing and give so much away in the process. So to summarize, you came here today to draw a sketch of the Gemini statue for your girlfriend, Lulu.
What? How'd you figure all that out?
From your incessant prattling, you just can't help yourself, can you?
Well, fine, then I won't say another word.
Larry may want to keep his mouth shut now, but I'll have my answers, one way or another. Let's ask him what he did after he arrived here at the gallery. We'll soon see what he's hiding. It's just a matter of time. Alright, tell me what you did once you arrived here.
Well, what's the big idea? Why are you staring at me like that? I don't remember. I didn't have a pamphlet, so I didn't know what was where. I just kind of hung around by the fountain.
You didn't receive a pamphlet when you paid your entrance fee at the reception desk?
You mean entry isn't... it's not free to get in here?
You didn't pay? You mean to tell me that you entered without paying?
I'm sorry, okay? It wasn't deliberate. There wasn't anybody at the reception desk is all. So I thought entry must be free.
You're saying Mistbound wasn't at the reception desk at the time?
Yeah, but it looked like there was maybe somebody in the little room opposite.
Interesting. According to Detective Goofshoe, Mistbound had to enter the security room to activate the sprinkler system. I expect she wasn't at the reception desk because she was busy responding to the incident.
Right after she finally got the place open for business, too. Poor Judy. The Winter Wing, the gallery's greatest attraction. It's gonna be ruined now.
You say you don't have a pamphlet, and yet you seem to know all about the Winter Wing. For example, that the Gemini statue you came here to draw just so happens to be in said room. Therefore, it was your intention to visit the Winter Wing all along, wasn't it?
How? How'd you get me again? Fine, you're right. I came here for the Gemini statue. And yeah, I came here to visit the Winter Wing. I won't deny it.
Larry's not one to confess so easily. Then again, he's always managed to surprise me in unusual ways. Let's see what more he can tell us about the Winter Wing. That was easy. I expect even Larry has found his feet a little by now. I'll have to watch his reactions more carefully and see what information I can glean from him.
Hey, Val.
I'm done with you. Go home.
What do you think about some juice?
Did you go in?
Stop slouching.
Drink.
Larry, be honest. Did you enter the Winter Wing?
Well, what is that? Is that suspicion I see in your eyes? I tried to get in there, sure, but...
You didn't go in? You tried to get in, but you couldn't?
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to get in there, but that old guy came out and fell to the ground, and like I said, it was all pretty shocking.
So you were unable to enter the Winter Wing because the victim emerged and collapsed in front of you?
Yeah, he came out of the Winter Wing door, and then down he went.
Wasn't it the Autumn Wing that the victim came out of?
That stupid poison gas thing had never happened. I'd be in there happily sketching away right now.
Larry seems to have the Autumn and Winter Wings mixed up. Regardless, it seems his aim really was to make a sketch of one of the statues. This could be a useful clue. What did you see in the Winter Wing, Larry?
You don't let up, do you? I told you I didn't see anything. Galleries are nice and all, but I kind of changed my mind once I got there. I thought I'd go meet my girlfriend instead.
I think it's time to deploy my clue. Didn't you say you came here to make a sketch of one of the statues for your girlfriend? You gave up on that a little easily, didn't you? Surely you saw something, even if you were distracted by the victim's collapse? Not yet.
I didn't not see something, but that doesn't prove that I did see something totally terrifying either, does it?
Oh, so you saw something terrifying. Really, Larry, you could at least try to make this a little harder for me. I put it to you, Larry Butts, that you did in fact see something totally terrifying.
How do you do it, Edgy? You're some kind of mind reader. Fine, I guess there's no point trying to keep it a secret any longer.
Honestly, that was the easiest mind chess I've ever done. I'm not sure there's much point in you trying to keep any secrets given your track record. It wasn't exactly the most edifying use of my time, but that's checkmate.
Yeah, it is Larry.
He is a simple fellow.
I couldn't help staring at that Gemini statue. My eyes were drawn to it.
You keep talking about a Gemini statue, but there's no way you saw what you think you saw. It's simply not possible.
What do you mean? You think I saw a ghost statue or something?
Larry's still labouring under the misconception that he was looking at the Winter Wing. This piece of evidence shows us what Larry was really looking at. I guess the pamphlet. It is weird how they're organised like that, because they're in chronological order except for winter and autumn.
Take that!
Take a look at this pamphlet. The Autumn Wing features sculptures depicting Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, and Aries. Not only that, but I've seen the statue depicting Gemini in the Winter Wing for myself. Which means that whatever you saw, it can't have been a statue of Gemini. Didn't we just establish how the statues were identical when Goofshoe went in there, though? Well, didn't we just confirm that they're the same?
I guess that makes sense.
Why is he not more surprised by that?
It seemed pretty weird now that I think about it. One of the two people did look like a goddess. So the other stuff, I guess that wasn't my imagination either.
Other stuff?
Oh, you're interested in it too, aren't you, Edgy? Great, let me show you.
Show me what exactly? Better not be a painting of a pterodactyl again.
I drew a picture of it all.
Oh, for God's sake.
Got the whole scene down exactly as I saw it. But I'm still not that confident in my work, so... Well, I want to see. Really? Oh, alright, here.
Well, that was easy. It was crying blood?
suppose the sprinklers washed that away because the top's open. The pterodactyl is several years later, yes. Wait, but if we remember the picture of the pterodactyl, wasn't that, like, much worse than this? Like... Did he get worse over time? What on earth? It's grotesque. You're trying to tell me the statue was crying tears of blood?
I have to say, Larice, it's pretty scary. Right? Because it was scary. It was supposed to be a statue of Gemini, but it up and turned into a goddess right before my eyes. It freaked me out so bad I screamed out loud.
So he wasn't reacting to the victim collapsing in front of him after all. Wait, when you say it turned into a goddess, what do you mean exactly?
What do you mean, what do I mean? The bottom half was suddenly a fish. That's what I mean. Goddess with a fishy bottom half? It sounds like Pisces to me. And it's all based on this legend of a goddess and her son turning into fish to escape some baddie. Oh, really? I thought Pisces was just two plain old fish. Hedgie, do you think the statue's cursed? I mean, tears of blood turning into a fish. That's some pretty cursed stuff right there.
Don't be a fool. That's no curse. Have you even seen the Graboni? I imagine you simply mistook one statue for the other.
Oh, look at you, tucking it carefully into your organizer.
I simply thought that I might have...
asshole! I'm gonna pull out your teeth and cram them up your ass!
I simply thought I might have a use for it later. Maybe in the bathroom.
You're the worst, Edgy. The worst. Kinda freaky deaky though, huh? Statue of a bottom half that changes shape. I'm pretty keen to find out what went down in the Autumn Wing, aren't you?
I suppose I am, yes. Could there be some kind of trick to the Pisces statue, perhaps? Yes, Edgeworth speaking.
I'm just about done in here, sir. There's no danger from the gas anymore. You can come in now.
Thanks. Good work, Detective. It seems it's finally safe to enter the Autumn Wing.
And the good detective sure has impeccable timing. Come on, let's go take a look. I want to see this Pisces statue. You're going in there, Kay? Or maybe I should come along too.
Did you really think I was going to leave you out here on your own? I know better than that. Alright, everyone, to the Autumn Wing. Oh yeah, it is a fish. Here we are at last. And it really does look a lot like the Winter Wing.
Glad you could make it. Hey there. You're, Harry, was it? Good to see you, Harry.
No! For the last time, the name is Larice Stoneham.
Detective, your report, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir. Okay, so first off, I found a blowtorch. The nozzle was still warm when I found it, so I guess it was used pretty recently.
Somebody using it to heat something. Okay. Was the stepladder already like that when you entered?
Yeah, I guess it was used by whoever let out the gas. The gas was inside the case until someone opened the lid.
Is that so? A Pisces statue.
You're sure up on your constellation, sir. You know what the one in the other case is too?
This is the Autumn Wing, so I imagine it should be Capricorn.
I guess there's no fooling you, sir. I thought it was supposed to be Taurus. That weird cloth that's draped around it kind of tripped me up.
Oh my god, the cloth's back.
Isn't that a piece of luminous cloth from way back when? What's that doing here?
And then we have evidence from the IS-7 incident too.
Well, taking a look around. It seems there's a piece of luminous cloth on each of the other cases, too.
Yeah, that just makes me want to see what's hiding underneath real bad.
Sure, let me whip them all off right for you.
And then there was gas in those two and we all died.
Wow, they're beautiful.
So the transformation Larry witnessed, could it have been the moment when the cloth around the Pisces statue's lower half fell away?
See, Edgy? See? I wasn't imagining things and I wasn't mistaken. Listen, Milester, I think we can all agree this room is fishier than a bucket of fish. My hunch is that somebody deliberately tried to make this room look just like the Winter Wing.
Yes, I was thinking exactly the same thing. They even covered the statues up in just such a way to make them look similar. With the cloth over the bottom half, the Pisces and Gemini statues look almost the same.
Yeah, ditto for Capricorn. Cover his bottom half up and he looks pretty much like Taurus. The other two can't be fixed as easily, so covering their cases up completely was the only answer.
Somebody went to some lengths to disguise the Autumn Wing as the Winter Wing. I'd say we need to take a closer look at things in here, wouldn't you, Fender?
Oh, not you again.
Mr. Winner and Judge Gavelle.
What the heck are you guys doing here? You're the last thing I need. This is my scene, you hear? Mr. Edgeworth, it seems I have failed in my duty yet again. I pray one day to make you see that your presence is not required at every crime scene. And that co-opting the good detective for your own ends is neither right nor good.
Bitch, I proved you wrong. Give me my badge. And apologize.
I will have to give serious consideration as to how the Goddess of Justice would have me judge you.
I think she would judge you to frickin' kneel down and kiss my feet, bitch.
You got it all wrong. It was me who asked Mr. Edgeworth to help, not the other way around.
It was? Well then, you know what that means, Detective Flatfoot.
You mean?
Exactly. Your, salary check is taking a hit. Bet you're looking forward to payday now. Always wanted to say that.
Man, getting a wage cut from you of all people?
I'm surprised Goof Shoe's wages aren't in the negative at this point. Not so fast, Mr. Winner. I was simply assisting with the police's investigation as a witness and bystander. Detective Gumshoe is entirely in the right.
Oh, he is, So you're saying I should give him a bonus instead?
Exclamation mark for the command. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Hey, I wouldn't mind a little salary bump.
Your compassion and generosity are truly heartwarming, Eustace. But we must take into account past transgressions when making judgments that concern the future. And I hereby judge Mr. Edgeworth and his associates unfit to tread the hallowed ground of this scene. What? We only just got here!
I, Miles D. Edgeworth, demand an apology and my prosecutor's badge back. What is that, Gumshoe? Oh, and piping hot fresh donuts every morning for Detective Gumshoe.
The Goddess of Justice has conferred her blessings on Eustace and Eustace alone.
By which you mean, this is Mr. Winner's case?
That's exactly what she means. It's time for the warm-up act to get off the stage. After all, I solved this one already. I have a suspect lined up and everything.
What did you say? A suspect already? Who?
Who else but your artist friend over there? Huh? Me? Me? What's going on, Edgy?
Your guess is as good as mine. I can't even begin to imagine how the boy's mind works.
Unsurprising that you lack the attitude to understand the winning mindset.
Lack the attitude? Something tells me he doesn't know the real winning turn of phrase.
Well put, Eustace. Mr. Edgeworth does indeed lack a certain aptitude. Yeah, exactly. Where's your aptitude, smart guy? Wow, he's totally shameless. Underestimate my information gathering skills at your own peril. Before we came here, we dropped by the medical room to ask the doctor there a few questions. And he told me where the poison gas came from.
And where might that have been?
It was, this chemical you find everywhere. I just can't think of the name now. Wait there a second, let me just call him real quick.
Oh.
Perhaps I can answer your question while Eustace is on the telephone. Why let him make the call if you know the answer? The gas was created by mixing two specific chemicals. Ubiquium and asphyxion.
Really? Really? We're just making shit up now. Ubiquium and asphyxion. Alright, video game, sure.
What kind of chemicals are they?
Oh, you could say this chemical's a bit ubiquitous.
Ubiquium is a red liquid used in all manner of everyday products. Paint and dishwashing liquids, among various others. On its own, it's entirely benign.
So it's something anyone could get their hands on?
Precisely. But the same cannot be said for asphyxion. That sound nasty. What's it used for? It is the main ingredient in a product called Infesticide Ultra. It is pure white in colour and is unavailable to the average consumer. In fact, it is nigh impossible for members of the public to obtain it here in this country. As such, we are currently investigating where it might have come from.
Right. Okay.
I'm back, and I know the name of the chemical now.
Don't waste your breath. Judge Gavel informed us already.
Huh? Great, that'll make this quicker, I guess. So the source of the gas, ubiquium, is used in paint and stuff, right? And there was somebody here at the gallery today who brought paints with them. Your friend, the artist. You can't accuse me just because of that. Objection to the paints on that palette in your hand. Edgy, is this kid okay? He seems a little...
Indeed. I haven't known him long, but he's a little prone to jumping to the wrong conclusions.
Hey, quit talking about me like I'm not even here. Ignore them, Eustace. They're simply intimidated by you. Nothing more. Don't give them yet another reason to fear you with one of your winning deductions.
Why do you side with this absolute buffoon?
Winning, yes, good idea. Get a load of this, losers.
Oh god, how easy is this going to be to overturn?
Our friend the artist here won the race to find the victim and was first on the scene, correct? And the gas the victim was poisoned with is made from ubiquium, which, as we know, is found in paint. He was carrying paint on his person, and he was one winning stride away from the victim, which surely makes him the winner on our list of suspects.
Okay, so we're completely ignoring the totally illegal, impossible to obtain chemical in this conversation, winner, Mr. Eustace. This person had access to soap, therefore they're the killer.
Right, Gavel? You think so too, right? It is a possibility that certainly can't be discounted. Well, would the artist like to share his version of events? Did you leave red paint at the scene of the crime? Or something more sinister? The catalyst for a cloud of toxic gas, perhaps? I think I might have left my heart there, you know, and you might have picked it up. I would be careful what you say to me. My gavel is already primed to deliver a guilty verdict.
Ignore him, please, Your Honor. It's for the best.
Objection!
Quit stalling. You can't run away from the fact that my reasoning is flawless. So admit defeat and crawl on out of here with your tails between your legs, because I win.
I have better things to do than to pick holes in your faulty logic, but I don't suppose I have much choice. They were first on the scene. And the gas was... Yeah, what about the second ingredient, you frickin' cock?
Objection!
Your deductions are anything but winning, I'm afraid. Unless you're looking to win a prize for incoherence.
So you agree that I deserve a prize?
What you deserve is to be set right. The gas came from within the case containing the sculpture of Pisces.
It did, and it was created by the artist guy. With the red paint that we know is full of ubiquium.
Allow me to offer you a bit of advice, one prosecutor to another. It always helps to listen carefully to others. The gas is created when ubiquium is mixed with another substance, asphyxiant. Paint containing ubiquium alone wouldn't create any kind of gas at all.
It wouldn't? I thought they said the guy was asphyxiated with ubiquium.
So you're telling me this was all based on a mishearing of the forensics report? The gas had already done its work by the time Mr. Butts found the victim. Perhaps it's your own aptitude you should be worrying about.
My aptitude? What does that even mean? You literally used the word 5 minutes ago. It means one's ability or how suited one is to a particular task, Eustace.
And attitude, the other word you misused only minutes ago as well, is another thing entirely.
I get what you're doing, you're making fun of me again.
What I am doing is demonstrating that you do not have the aptitude required to head up this investigation.
Overruled.
Before you go any further, you might wish to consider some of the flaws in your own statements.
And what flaws might those be?
Firstly, that you cannot prove your artist friend did not enter the Autumn Wing. And secondly, that you cannot prove the red paint did not have something to do with the crime.
Paint isn't important on its own, surely. What's important is the combination of the red ubiquium with the white asphyxiant. How exactly were the two substances introduced to one another? Surely we need to figure that out before anything else.
Indeed we do. And that is what Eustace will be investigating next.
God damn it, Phoebes.
Well, he would already be investigating had you not been here making needless trouble.
Always ready to make it a beach episode, aren't you, Phoebes? I haven't been to a real beach in so long. We're not here to make trouble. Quite the opposite, in fact. We're here to help.
Are you saying you know how the gas was made? I don't believe you.
I can certainly point you toward a vital clue as to how it was done.
He's bluffing, Eustace. Ignore him. It's fine, Gavel. He's clearly lying. Might as well let him talk himself even further into a corner.
You want to take me to a real beach? Not a British one, I hope. Maybe a nice, semi-secluded beach in Spain that's not covered in tourists. That'd be nice. Just somewhere nice and hot, where I can just lie down and enjoy the sun quietly. To the Thames? Oh, you want me to die? Is that it? Okay. Well, a dip in the Thames is a death sentence.
Come on then, show me what you've got. What shows how the gas was created,
The leaking red from the statue, creating the pink splotch on the floor, which is the white and red mixing. Perchance, mayhap.
Take that!
Nice beaches in France, that'd do too, just as long as it's warm, nice and hot. I want a basking rock, yes. Give me a nice basking rock on a beach, a hot beach. Like, I'm talking at least 28C. Okay, at least 26C. There. San Diego? You think I can afford that kind of flight? A flight to San Diego alone is going to be like over $1,000. You know, I'm going to set my sights a little closer, maybe France or Spain. Also, have you seen the state of America? I ain't going there. Sweden? Isn't Sweden, like, hella cold, usually? Your summers get rather warm? Define rather warm. 30C in Singapore? Again, that's on the other side of the planet, Huey. I don't think I can afford a flight of that magnitude. Sweden is not landlocked. Please check a geography book. Or Google Sweden on a map. It is definitely not. You might be thinking of a different country. Like, I'm no geographer-matician myself, but I can point out Sweden on a map. I can do that. Swedish summers get 25 to 30. Ooh, nice. I'd like to go to a Swedish spa someday. I hear... I don't know if it's like just a... what's the word? A stereotype. But I hear there's a lot of like saunas over there. And I would like to visit one. Rockstar's remastering Red Dead 1 for PC. I did not see that. That's cool. That's really all I've got to say. I mean, a lot of people were expecting it for some time, so it's about time they went up and announced it. Saunas at bathhouses, but Finland has more. Oh, okay. You're saying this somehow shows us how the chemicals were mixed to make the poison gas? That's exactly what I'm saying, yes, thank you for noticing. Well, they do say I have a good eye. Maybe one. The red tears Mr. Butt saw, that was the ubiquium. Oh, wait a second. You're saying the statue cried the stuff out? What, so our culprit is some kind of evil spirit? How much time am I going to have to waste taking him through this step by step? The red tears alone would not have been enough to create the gas. They must have mixed with something else inside the case. What? And what evidence do you have that that's what happened? The evidence is right there in the sketch I just showed you. I need to point out the part that shows the two liquids mixed together. Yeah, it's right there.
Take that!
Observe the pool of pink liquid beneath the Pisces statue's glass case. This clearly shows that the two chemicals mixed.
What? Wait, I don't get it. How does that prove that some ubiquium mixed with some asphyxian?
We have an artist with us, why don't we ask him? Larry, you claim to be something of a painter. I imagine you have some experience mixing colours. What happens when you mix red with white?
Oh, don't treat me like a dum-dum, Edgy. I did graduate from junior high, you know. Any idiot knows that red and white make pink. I mean, there's variations. You got your rose pinks, your baby pinks.
Hold it!
That will be more than enough, thank you. Do you see what I'm getting at now, Mr. Winner?
Oh, I think I do. Ubiquium is red, asphyxian is white, mix the two together, and you get pink. That's what the pink liquid is.
Yes, very good. Got there in the end.
Yes, interesting. I think you finally convinced him.
Overruled!
Mr. Edgeworth, you have raised a possibility, nothing more. We cannot know for sure that this shows the result of the two chemicals having mixed.
Are you fucking bullshitting me in the dick right now? This poison gas, which occurs when these two coloured chemicals mix, creating a pink chemical, and you think just because there was some pink on the floor in the room full of poison gas, that it's just a coincidence? Alright. A nice warm bitch with a big rock to lie on. Yes, Abby, that would be very nice.
And besides, the sketch you're attempting to enter as evidence was drawn by a suspect.
That is a much more reasonable argument.
How can we possibly hope to rely on its veracity? Hey, I drew everything exactly as I saw it. A true artist never lies or embellishes the truth.
Yeah, AI quote artists.
Forgive me, but I did not ask for your opinion.
Warm bit, not warm bitch, warm beach. Beach. Sand place with water.
Oh, she's a cold one, but I like it.
You may rest assured, Your Honour, that I mean to prove my theory to all of our satisfaction.
Overruled.
It may not be wise to jeopardize your position any further, Mr. Edgeworth, especially as there is another question to which you have yet to provide a satisfactory answer. How can you prove that this man did not enter the Autumn Wing? Until you are able to, there is little more to discuss.
Wait, maybe the victim could help us out with that.
Mr. Gusto, he is still unconscious and in critical condition.
He is? Oh.
Now, if you don't mind, Eustace needs to carry out his own investigation of this area. If you would be so kind as to leave him in peace. For the presiding judge's sake, I pray to the goddess that you need not ever be summoned to testify. Now then, is there something you wish to say, Mr. Artist?
If you could just hold that pose for a moment there, Miss Ice Queen.
I am Justice Verity Gavel, and I would be grateful if you would dispense with the childish epithets.
Oh, finally she tells me her name. Nice to meet you, Verity. Name's Loris Doonim, but you can call me Larice.
If you could stop wasting the court's time, Mr. Doonim.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's just there's something I forgot to mention. The door was locked. I tried to open it and then the old guy came tumbling out.
It does appear that the door can be unlocked from the inside. However, that does not necessarily mean that it was locked at the time as you claim. Without proof, your statement carries little weight, I'm afraid.
Objection!
Well, as it happens, I can back our pal here up on that. What? Yeah, we tried to come in here too, but it's just like the guy said. It was locked up tight. Ain't that so, Miles Areno?
It is. I distinctly remember how it went.
So, Winter Wing.
Huh? Oh, I don't believe it, it's locked. Gallery's open for biz, but the Winter Wonder Wing's off limits? What gives?
Prior to the incident with the gas, it was not possible to enter this room from the outside.
And what is to say that your suspicious friend was not in here with the victim the entire time?
Objection!
The fact that he didn't suffer the ill effects of the gas. Search him for a gas mask if you like, I doubt you'll find one.
I see. Then I suppose we'll have to take you at your collective word.
That was a little too easy. Well, Judge Gavel, do you accept that Mr. Butts is no longer a viable suspect? And that once again Mr. Winner's deductions have fallen short of the mark?
What are you talking about? I just need some more information, that's all. You can't blame a guy for being a little hasty with his deductions.
Yes, we fucking can.
You know it's not cool for a prosecutor to be saying stuff like that, right? Very well. Then perhaps we should call our next suspect. Mr. Doonim, you may step down from the stand.
Go, you mean? I was enjoying our time together, Verity. Let me stick around, please.
Overruled. Show no mercy. Squish my heart into a goopy mush. I love it.
Didn't you already have a girlfriend? Then again, it is Larry. Who exactly is this next suspect?
The pharmacist, Alicia Scone. Your artist friend may have struggled to lay his hands on a bottle of Infesticide Ultra. But someone in her line of work would surely have a better idea of where such a thing might be acquired. The court hereby calls for a 10-minute recess. Eustace, we will go and fetch the suspect. Your winning smile will bring her running, I am sure. My winning... Of course, Cavell. Let's go get her at once. Hey, Detective Flatfoot. You carry on investigating while I'm gone, okay?
Sure. Is it possible? Would Judge Cavell have suspected Miss Scone from the start?
Now that you mention it, she wasn't helping Mr. Winner like she usually does, huh?
What exactly is your angle here, Judge Cavell? I mean, she's clearly using him because he's an idiot. To be continued. I'd say that's a good place to wrap up for the day then. I know it's like nearly half an hour early, but I've been very stressed of late and I just need some me time of late. And also to try and find additional solutions to housing. Because it's very difficult.
Valerie needs water.
Stop slouching.
Because the place I had an appointment with have proven themselves to be entirely incompetent. Thank you for the hydrate. Because I was explaining my situation to them. And they were like, oh, because you said this, I guess you're not in that much trouble. And I'm just like, wait, so you're ignoring that I said this? And they're like, oh, wait, what? Okay, we'll look into it. Fucking idiot. I'm not going into specific details because it's quite personal. But it's just like, yeah, no, I said this during the interview. And they were like, oh, you did, didn't you? Okay, I guess we're not closing your case immediately. Absolute idiots. But anyway, yeah. That's going to be the end of the stream. So thanks for watching. Hearing me complain about the government. Yet again. So if you're watching on YouTube, I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye. And goodbye from Greb too, apparently.